What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
What kind of ignorant shit is that?
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
You idiot, you fool!
Hey, dummy!
This is the Ignorance is Blessed podcast.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
Hey everybody, it's me. I'm here with Ryan Dorsey, and you might recognize him from so many TV shows. Big Sky, Justified, Yellowstone, Ray Donovan, etc., etc. The list goes on. We're gonna talk a little bit about acting, but since I'm just bringing you in with like a rigmarole of random credits, do you have a favorite that or like a role that was like you're the most proud of, or like it was coolest to play?
That's funny when people ask now, because when you first start out, it's like, oh, well, way before you start out, you're like, oh, what do you do? I'm an actor. Everyone asks what you do in this town.
Oh, it's the first. That's how are you in this town? It's wild.
Yeah, it's like, well, when you had 0 credits and they're like, oh, so what do you do? I'm like, oh, I'm an actor. Everyone starts at 0, and then you have nothing to go. You have nothing to show. And they're like, oh, what have I seen you on? And it used to be a joke between me and my friend, is like my one actor friend. We started out, shout out Bobby Naderi, talented fella. But we would go out in town. We'd be like, oh yeah, check on YouTube. We're on YouTube. You know what I mean? Way before they were doing original content. Way before all these 7-year-olds are making $25 million a year.
I know.
And way before everyone was putting their podcasts on YouTube. So it was like a joke, like, oh yeah, nothing yet, but I got some auditions loaded on YouTube. Check me out. You know what I mean?
That's so funny.
But then once you I finally got that first job.
How long were you going at it before the first job?
Honestly, I graduated 2006 in New York.
Okay. Did you study acting?
2-year conservatory,
Okay.
yeah. And it's supposed to be a big deal to get in there. Supposedly 5,000 people. They said I tried to get in, and they only take 160, and then it cuts down to year 2. And I think now looking back, it was like, yeah, it was $60,000. There wasn't 5,000 people.
Yeah,
lined
they're
up.
justifying that.
Yeah.
It's really prestigious.
Yeah,
Anyway, you're going to be in debt forever. Good luck acting. Hope the paper helps.
And then they break down how many of you are going to be doing it. There was this guy, Pete Metallion, a real hardcore New York acting teacher, and he'd be like, all right, here's the deal.
That's so funny.
2 years, 6 of you will still be doing this.
Jesus.
And you're like, damn, I'm looking around.
Most of you will be doing marketing or something.
Yeah. Some of you going to get into casting. Some of you just going to completely pack your shit up and go home. And I'm like, damn. I'm looking around like, all right, I'm 1. And then he goes on, he's like, and then in 5 years, maybe 2 of you. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, she's good. He's pretty good. I think
like
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right.
Fuck.
But he was 100% right.
Damn.
100% right. Out of 100, and how many ever I graduated with, I think it's me, and there may be 2 other people
that are still out there
doing something.
working
A couple
acting.
of them are doing pretty well, and then I don't even know who the 3rd or 4th one would be.
Damn.
So he wasn't wrong. It was very
it's hard.
Very correct. So but to answer your question, it took me from 2006. I moved out here last year, moved back east, had a girlfriend that moved in with me. Bad idea. We both moved back east. Very sad story. That's a long story for another day.
It's a different podcast.
I broke down in Vegas and had to call my mom for gas money, and she Western Unioned it because we didn't have Venmo.
Oh my God, before Venmo.
We didn't have the things to be like, yeah. Boom.
What a time.
Western Union. So from 2006, then I moved back out here in 2009. So it took me almost 7 years, 6-7 years before I was on Parks and Recreation.
That was your first.
My first job.
Damn. How was that? How was the call where you find out you booked it?
Oh God, I almost didn't go in for it because when you're not SAG-AFTRA, or I think it was right when they merged.
Yeah.
There's like, oh, they'll have to Taft-Hartley you if you're not in a union, and it was just like
it
wasn't a guest star, it was a co-star, which means 5 lines or under. I don't know what the
differences
you know
are.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I know what the pay is in guest star because that's usually what I do, versus co-star, which I don't do those anymore.
Look at you.
I'm just saying I don't.
I
whatever.
do.
I mean, I'll do them now if they give it to me.
There's nothing.
If they really want me to come, I'm like, all right, yeah. I don't want to audition, but if you
Yeah, if you're just
you
gonna,
think
like,
I
if
could
I
say
just show
these
up and throw a
lines,
few lines out, yeah.
let's do it. So, God, I almost didn't go to the audition. I remember I was so hungover the
Fuck.
day because I went out, stayed out late, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll go to this audition. I was dog sitting for my agent slash. She's like one of my best friends I went to acting school with in New York.
See, she came. She went on the other side.
But yeah, she went on one audition. She looked at herself in the mirror. And she's like, "What the fuck am I doing?"
I'm an agent now.
and then she got into that game, and which is another terrible career. It seems like.
Oh, it's
for
hell.
me.
That's yeah.
I would never want to rely on people like us. But
Yeah, no, my the guy I'm dating is at an agency and just
Might be
having to
some-
wrangle people.
some security though, I guess maybe.
Yeah, it's not. It's nice to be like, cool. You're doing something that, like, at least
Someone's
there's a
gonna book.
trajectory. Like, someone's gonna do something. There's a ladder you can climb. I'm over here like I'm swinging from a rope. Hopefully, well, that's dark.
Wow.
Not yet. Okay.
I'm swinging from a tire swing in West Virginia now, so we're on the same boat.
Damn.
Yeah, so I get the call. I go in, and I was so low energy, and it was like this character. It was like his name was Taylor Smitch or something. It was a play on Taylor Kitsch, the actor from
Oh,
Friday
that's
Night Lights. I had long hair, and you know,
hilarious.
it was a former star football player turned like guy that was like helping his preacher or something church guy. It was something really silly that was a very long description for a guy that has 5 lines.
5 lines. It's really funny the backstory they'll give you to a character that you're like,
Oh, yeah.
nobody is gonna know.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
information.
Thanks for the information. I think I'll just say the words.
Yeah, I was
see
gonna
if-
read it. and
See if
what
you
happens.
believe it.
Yeah.
So I say the lines, and the lady, I can't remember the casting director, but for some reason I never saw her again after this, even though I booked it.
They fired her
No,
for
she's
booking
still,
you.
I would have to look her up and think of her name because she did Parks all those years, and I'm sure she went on to do something
Oh,
else.
I'm sure.
But I remember her saying, okay, cool. Well, if he's going to be that low energy, maybe, I don't know what she said after that. I just remember her being like, okay, and I'm thinking, oh, yeah, I'm fucking hung over.
Yeah, you're like, I've bombed this
I'm low
audition.
energy, but I knew kind of the show was very, kind of natural. It wasn't over, single
Yeah, there's not
cam.
a lot of like
Wasn't
over the top.
top.
It's
Everyone's super fucking like even kill. So
It's what
I
makes it
was-
funny.
I thought that was the vibe as before people said that's the vibe. You know what I mean? Like I was super.
you were ahead of the game.
Yeah. So I was like, all right. So I did it again. I don't know if I did anything different for her notes, but
That's
I
so
booked
funny.
it. And I got the call, and I cried.
You
I
cried.
cried when they told me I got the job. Well, not on the phone. I was like, okay, thank you.
Yeah, cool. Great.
My
Of
manager,
course.
My manager calls me. I'm like, all right. He's like, so they're gonna Taft Hartley you. I'm like, Taft Hartley, which means, if anyone doesn't know, what does that mean? It means
It's like it's like a waiver. You have to have a certain amount of either vouchers or you have to be SAG to do SAG projects, but it's like a skip the line.
you don't have to pay basically $6,000 right away. You can do this.
Yeah, you
job.
can you can do it and then figure it out.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna defer the payment that is maybe more than we're gonna pay you. Have fun.
Yeah, that was
depending
definitely-
on how you get Taft Hartley.
Definitely way less than because it was a co-star. It was fuck maybe.
I mean, people will get that on like Moki. Stop it. She hates
she
union
hates
dues.
Parks and Rec.
She's part of the problem. She works she's a Netflix dog. No.
Oh my god, man, it was terrible. Terrible
fuck.
time before that. Just thinking that, when am I going to book? When am I going to get a job? And I've been close on a lot of things, gone to producers, but it was just 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and I had tested for True Blood. That's another
Fuck.
funny story where it came down to me and another guy for a series reg, and I really fucked that one up. Just being green and bringing a tool bag to the audition and rubbing grease on myself. And, and
And they're like, what in the fuck is this guy doing?
Alan Ball told my manager, he said he could have wrote a book on how not to audition for a job based on what I did. And they brought me back like 2 times. I think I met him twice. And then the screen test, there was so many people in the room because back then everyone was in the room.
Oh,
and
yeah.
There was like 20 people behind the camera,
Just
like
staring.
studio people from HBO, and I'm so fucking nervous, but thought I knew what I was doing, which I think the performance part was fine. It was just the extra. Like I put a name tag on my fucking
You're like, I'm the character.
shirt. It was at Tommy, like one of those Walmart things. I just did so much extra shit. And looking back, it's so stupid.
That's so. But I mean, like, how do you know until
Well, that acting teacher that I told that I was going to do this, I really wish she would have said, you know what? I think you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I told her I was going to do all these things.
She's like, that sounds great.
I was like, yeah, I did it the first time, which was true, but I didn't have the name tag the first time.
You're like, I better like make it. I got to do something extra. That's so funny. You put on a name tag. Yeah, we know who you're supposed to be.
His name was because he worked at a mechanic shop.
Oh, so you wanted it to look like
in Louisiana where the show took place. His name
so
was
like I want you to see it.
Tommy. I went to Joann's Fabric and got the stickers and put it on. I went all out. It was the dumbest fucking
You're like,
thing
I
I've done.
spent the rest of my money on the costume for the part I didn't
It was
book.
so dumb. I was at the Formosa lot under the hood of my 1999 Oldsmobile Intrigue, and I was like popping the hood, thinking because I didn't know what my technique was. I was like kind of methods, kind of Meisner. You know what I
you're
mean?
like, oh,
And
whatever.
like,
I don't know.
All right, I'm moving wires around and rubbing dirt on me because it's True Blood. There's this thing where it's all sex appeal. So the
And it'd
last
be
scene,
sexy grease.
I'm a shapeshifter. So there's this thing in the script where he has to take his shirt off so he can turn into this dog that his family's fighting him in this redneck.
It sounds so dumb. I mean, it's like it was such a good show, but it sounds so dumb to say it out loud.
I never watched it. I know it did fall off towards the end. I hear it got a little
I
crazy,
hear it got
but
rough.
Tommy Mickens was almost me, season 2, I believe it was, and then I went on for another 4 years, 4 years, and didn't book anything until Parks and Rec.
Were you like thinking of throwing in the towel?
No, I was $60-some thousand in.
You're like,
and
you're not fucking. I'm not quitting.
And the truth is, I was so close, and I had like the True Blood thing, that bunch of producer
Bunch of
sessions.
other things.
So it was
you're like, I'm right there.
I'm not completely delusional, like because
Of
you need to
course.
be a little bit.
I mean,
To try to do
to
this
be
silly
on
game.
TV. I mean, it's the same with like stand-up comedy. It's like you have to be a little crazy, just be on odds alone. That you're like that. I'll get lucky enough to get in the room for the person who can give me the thing.
Right.
That I'm gonna meet the people who can introduce me to the people. That's delusion in itself. Let alone you add like your abilities and like.
I think stand-up and acting is probably two of the hardest things. Stand-up's harder. Easier in the sense that you can do it because starting out you only need you. You can go to an art open mic. It's harder.
You can do the art form.
I think it's harder because I've done stand up and I wish I would have stuck with it because I don't have many regrets. But like between me not booking True Blood and all those years, I was like, I got to do something creative, and I love stand up.
That's great.
So I got up there. I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go." I lost my car, so I got there. I hit a bunch of open mics,
So
and
you
then when
fit in with all the open micers.
when I say I did stand up, I did it less than a dozen times. But when I did do it, I had such a fun time. Like I remember my first time I went up. It was one of those Brigham shows, and I got paid my first job. First job.
God.
Listen to me.
First.
My first acting job.
Hey, that doesn't happen for everybody. First set, like.
Well, listen. So I'm thinking, fuck, if this is the way it is, like I'm waiting tables. I just made I think it was $40 or $135.
Oh, that'll make you. If I could do this I'll do this every night.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm like, fuck waiting tables. Like this is great, but it was one of those. It was a very unique. Whoever the host or booker was, it was like you bring the people, you get $5 each person.
that's not, and not
I don't
everyone
think
does that.
anyone does that anymore, right? I
No,
don't
they
know.
should. It would at least make it a little more honest to be a bringer show producer. Because I go on like tirades about like don't do shows where people are charging for tickets and they're not paying you with like new comics. I'm like, just go to an open mic. Just do your own show.
Yeah.
But like I did it. I'm pretty sure I lost friends inviting them to bringer shows where I'd go up at like
And they
1 a.m.
They don't come.
They'd
Oh,
come
they
and
came
they'd
and
be
they're
like,
like-
what the fuck? And I'm like,
I've been here for 3 hours.
yeah, and seen a bunch of other comedians who are brand new. So it's
Ugh.
not.
Yeah, it's
There's
all.
no one like even going up that could make the show worthwhile.
Oh yes.
Fuck. But you tried it. I mean,
I did. I did 14 minutes my first time, which is insane.
That's
And here's the funny thing.
that's crazy.
I recorded myself every time, and I just never had the balls to listen to it back.
No, I mean that's
It
hard.
was so hard, and every time was, I didn't know what I was doing, but I was good in the sense that I've been in front of people like the HBO thing that I didn't give a fuck. So I was nervous, but I wasn't that nervous.
You're like, I'm gonna
There's-
bomb in front of a bunch of other people who aren't
there's
doing
like-
shit.
There's no one here going to give me a job. I'm having fun. I'm just like exploring, and I just wish I could could find the recordings so I could go back and be like, how shitty was it?
Just
you know
see
what I mean?
you're like, dude.
But people would be like, so how long you been doing stand-up? And I would be like, oh, this is my first, not people, but like a couple people behind the stage, whoever was running it.
Yeah,
There's a
the
name
comms
that
and
I'll
booker.
probably say you might know in a minute, and you'll probably laugh if you know this guy.
I
'Cause
mean,
he's
I'm
like I have to think of his name. Fuck it, I forgot it. All right.
Here, bring your show booker. I could just start rattling off.
No, he was the one that didn't pay us. The guy that paid us was
Oh.
this black dude, and he was a nice fella.
Vargas Mason,
No.
Big Mike, headliners only. Okay, I'll stop naming bringer show bookers.
But they'd be like, how many? It's my first time, and I'd be like, oh, it's my second or third time. They'd be like, no way, really? I'm like, yeah. They're like, man, keep at it. I'm like, so they're giving me confidence.
That confidence,
I'm like, all
yeah.
right, cool.
Well, there's so much to like
blew it.
being comfortable. Like that's, I mean, obviously, so you have to be funny. You want to have good jokes, but that's half the battle, and that's why people have to like get up so much because there's people who can be great, but they're great joke writers, and they go on stage and like, hello.
Yeah, and I wasn't a joke writer. I was just talking about my life and my experience, and nothing was ever the same every time I did it. So I wasn't even working on it.
You didn't have material, just be like, what am I going to talk about?
I mean, I did, but it wasn't like looking back. It wasn't structured. It wasn't like
you're just like, I'm gonna tell that story.
No discovery. Like I don't know what the fuck I was doing. To be
Yeah,
honest with
well,
you. There's a lot of impressions of people I know, a lot of voices.
That's so fun.
Like that's the thing with this podcast that I think I'm gonna try to do is like, the longest time struggle that I had was like finding my voice.
Yeah.
Because I'm from West Virginia, right?
Yeah.
And I grew up around a lot of country people and a lot of black people. So depending on who I'm with, I'm culture appropriating either way.
Either way,
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
You're
Back-
like
way-
you're
way
kind of
before that was a
assimilating
word.
and blending in.
Right.
Dude, I relate to that so deeply. I lived in southern Mississippi as a kid, and it was just
I got
like
family there.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I loved it as a little kid till before I got older, and I was like, oh damn, I didn't realize how racist everyone was.
Yeah, you're like,
I thought we were just doing our thing. I did think it was weird that most of my white friends don't hang out with my black friends, but like.
And those jokes were just, I thought they were jokes. They really mean that.
Oh, you hate people.
Yes, yeah.
Yikes.
That rebel flag really hits down there.
Damn. Yeah, it's weird too. Well, I mean, you get taught the wrong thing. I don't know how it was in West Virginia, but like.
We're on the winning side of the war, so it was a little less racist.
Yeah, dude, we fucking took a field trip in 5th grade to this place called Beauvoir, which is Jefferson Davis, who was the second in command of the Confederate Army, which I don't even know if I would know that if I hadn't grown up in the South. It's a plantation. And they're like selling Confederate flags, and we just go like, it's about the history. And like they don't go, oh, by the way, the people who worked here, I'm pretty sure they said this is where the workers lived. And now I'm like, the slaves?
Yeah, the workers.
The employees of Jefferson Davis?
The free employees.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
It's
different times over there.
Dude, yeah, it's I still have a few friends, and there's good people from there, but it is a little backward in some parts, which is,
Was it sunflower?
Magnolia. Wait,
I thought you said in sunflower.
in some parts. I don't even know what the hell I said.
I'm from Sunflower, Mississippi.
No, I'm from Ocean Springs, Mississippi. Sunflower sounds like a fucking Mississippi town. That's my Mississippi coming
Sunflower
out. I'm
plantation
rambling.
or something, maybe.
Oh yeah, I'm
100%.
sure that was a fucking.
I thought that's what you said. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I talk too fast. I literally have slow down
Well, I
tattooed on my
mumble.
hand.
Damn, that'll teach you.
It hasn't, clearly. It's a fucking.
That is a good
Just
idea, though.
wrote it because of stand up. It's a note. It's the note I get all the time. I still have a problem.
And so you just have to always work left-handed. So
Yeah, I do anyway. I'm right-handed, but I hold this. I think because I
Dominant.
like emote
You need
over
to do.
here. I'm
yeah,
an old
yeah.
Italian man.
That makes
Just-
sense.
Anyway, I fucking derailed us hardcore.
No, I don't know. I am.
Oh, but just like figuring out your voice, because.
Oh yeah, so like, you go to New York, and I was never really too Southern sounding. But if you go back and watch the VHS tapes, it was like, where's my Kool-Aid and where's my my Gatorade, and
Does it creep out when you get around other people?
when I talk to my dad, or like I slip into it if I'm around my family, I'll I'm drinking beer or something, I'll fucking slip into it.
Same.
I'm like, man, who fucking knows?
I sound like Boomhauer.
Like, Joe Biden, fucking Donald Trump, who gives a shit?
I hate 'em
they're all crooks.
Yeah, they don't care about me.
Hey, you know what's going to happen? If Trump gets elected or Biden gets elected, not shit. My life's going to stay the same. You know what I mean? So I don't get too political about things, but people do like to talk about it.
Dude, it's wild.
The weather, and politics.
It's.
Since I've moved back home, I hear a lot of that. I'm just like,
Are people like, well, you one of them hippie liberal California
No,
boys now?
I don't think anyone ever asks me anything, honestly, like that. I just,
They're just like, hey, movie star.
my thing is just like, I would just be like, yeah, you never know.
Dude, I hate politics. I hate when people talk about it. I hate during election season. It becomes people's whole personality.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, you trust the government? I'm like, don't get me started. I'm like this close to being a tinfoil hat person at this point.
Oh, I'm all over. I'm with everybody. I'm like, yeah, anyone could tell me anything, and then I'll never talk anyone out of what they want to believe.
No,
I'll
just
say,
listen.
hey, you never know. Ain't no telling.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll find out. Yeah, same. That I'm like, I understand. Well, it's also like, I feel like people don't get enough, I don't want to say credit's not the right word, but it's people will reduce someone to like an individual political belief without taking into account like their life experience, where they come from, and like whatever. And I think that's a bummer. Because people be like, "Oh, Republican, you're racist," and I'm like, "Okay, that's a leap for people."
That's the crazy. The Hollywood is so fucking out of control. Because I'm not on. I'm not a Republican, and I'm not a Democrat.
Me neither. But both sides, if I say any, like, well, what about? They're like, "What are you, a Nazi? What are you a? What are you, a
Fucking
liberal?
commie.
What are you, Bernie Sanders?" And it's like, okay. It's just, I don't have a box, and I'm sorry it upsets you.
And that's the reason why we're all fighting out here, because you're trying to put us in boxes.
Don't put me in a box.
I ain't no box kind of guy myself.
I'm not a boxcar child.
God, I was at a Hollywood party the other night.
Oh, God.
This, I won't say their name or her name, but someone that was way more successful than me. So I went, all right, I'll go check this place out in the hills of, I think it was like Silver Lake or...
You gotta
It's not
stop
far
by.
from here.
Yeah.
I was like, let me go see. So go over there, and I could not believe someone was talking about someone was an anti-vaxxer. I was like, are we not over?
I can't believe anyone's still even talking about. I mean, like, I know that people are still getting COVID.
Are they?
I think, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're getting it severely. Literally don't know. But it's
either.
like,
I don't watch the news.
I'm like, who? I mean, me neither, because I'll go insane. And also, all the news is skewed. I was talking to someone last night about how I don't know how you would do it like monetarily in a capitalist society, but if you could actually create a news outlet that they're like, we're just telling you the actual information. We're not spinning it. We're just going, hey, this happened today.
Where is that? There's got to be one.
I think they try. I think that like.
Was that the Young Turks, or are they super like?
I heard that's. I think that's what they are, but then I don't know how long.
They probably got paid to go a different way.
Yeah, it's like as soon as I feel like most people have a price where they go, well, okay, I'll say that.
Yeah.
Like, well, we'll talk about that.
I follow Good News Dog on Instagram.
Good News Dog.
It's just a bunch of good news.
Oh, well then that's.
Where's that at?
Yeah, there's never good news. It's just like everybody's dead at 10.
I don't want to talk about children, but
yeah, no, but I mean, like literally, it's like you would think that the world was constantly on fire if you always watch the news. Like I remember visiting my grandma, who has since passed away, but like she keeps Fox News on 24/7.
Love that.
And it's like at some point I was like, well, no wonder the woman's racist. If she's got this on, she thinks this is the real world. She's scared of everybody. This is ridiculous.
Fox News has a bunch, and I know because I have family members that watch all the channels, and they got a lot of black people now.
Look at them, and they're like, "Hey, Fox News, we have black people."
Tucker,
now.
You're gone. Jimmy, you're up next.
Yeah. Hey, at 10, hey, we got a black guy now, and he's gonna say things, and see, black people also think that.
And they're out there. I'm telling you, that's the thing. And that's I think I don't know enough about it. I don't like to put everyone in a box, but CNN's the same shit, different thing. But it's
toward a different
if
group
you're
of
gonna
audience.
watch the news, I think you should flip through it.
Get the different perspectives.
A, B, C, and D, and then make it up. But then people like what they like.
I know, and people. I mean, this day and age too. It's like people are. Social media makes it very easy to get yourself in an echo chamber or only see the things that validate your opinion. And I think that's bad. I'm like, if there's like two giant major parties, it can't be that like this is all wrong, or this is all wrong. It's like, Well, I want to hear where you're coming from. Like, what
Right.
are you thinking? And I don't know. I could go on forever about how
Yeah, big politicians over here, you and me. Listen
yeah.
to us.
Anyway, this is our announcement of our campaign for California and West Virginia government. West Virginia. Wow.
Yeah, we're going to change things up around here.
You're going to like it.
We're bringing back flavored jewels.
I mean, those are the real issues that people care about. Let's be honest. You got into acting. I want to talk about mentioning social media because it's such a big part of, I feel like, the industry now, almost to the point that, like, in terms of any new person being discovered, it's like laziness on a lot of the like industry agents, casting director side of like discovering new talent. But like what was the landscape for you then versus now with like
God, it's been 10 years.
social media?
So if I worked, it's been about 10 years since my first job, Parks and Rec. I think this is year 10.
Were you? So that was what, 2013?
Yeah.
In 2013, I mean, we had social media.
It just started. I just joined Instagram for the sole fact that I knew I needed it. It was a good idea to have for my career. So I was kind of late to the game, but it was like
It was around. I think I got
after
on around then.
MySpace. I think MySpace was
Dead.
fizzled.
Yeah.
But still there maybe, and Facebook was really taking off. But Facebook, I remember when I went to school in New York, you had to be in a college to join Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook was for smart people.
I didn't know about Facebook until I went to college, and everyone's like, "Are you on the Facebook?" And I was like, "What?"
What's that?
And then I did feel really elitist. Like, I'm on the Facebook, but I'm like, none of my friends from home are.
Bunch of
Those
dummies.
fucking idiots.
Yeah.
And then they opened it up, and I was like, damn, they're just letting anybody in
Yeah,
here
they're
now.
letting anybody, just like they're letting anybody in on Instagram.
The riffraff.
It used to be if someone with a blue check like said something, you're like, oh, who's this talented person?
Dude, now, and it's like you
And
can
now
buy
it's
the
like,
blue check.
Oh, it's just fucking Sally .69.
Yeah, who's just paying for verification. And then also, because I'm desperately trying to like get off social media and just like have a healthy relationship with like I post and like I check to make sure if there's like, you get like DMs for things. Like that's how like we connected, which is a funny story, I guess I should tell. But like it will prioritize people with a blue check mark regardless, like if they like your stuff. And then it's sometimes I'll get like crazies who are liking everything, but it just like keeps showing their
Follow
stuff.
me.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Who is this?
they have like 3 followers and they've posted a picture of a truck, and it's like,
So bizarre.
why do you need that?
It's so bizarre.
It's crazy. And I think they're taking away, there is a way, they might have removed it, but this is so psychotic for me to know. But
Tell me, I love
there's a way to look and see the date of when they got their check mark.
Oh, someone told me that.
But I think they're getting rid of that now. So I'm like, damn it. Because I'll be like, oh, you pay for this check mark.
Someone did tell me that. I forget how to do that too. I won't do it, but
No,
I
me
think I'll just
neither.
know right away. I'm like, click them. If I click them,
You
I'm
just,
like,
I mean,
okay, 300 people. Cool.
and they
cool.
then they're not like, like if you were doing anything in a specific industry of note, not to be that they needed to go, this is the real one. Usually it would say like
Right.
this business or like I do this, but it's just like a random. I'm just like, I guess if whatever makes you happy.
I mean, good business decision. I guess they made a few $100 million,
yeah.
but
And I guess if like you're someone who like whatever you do relies on like some type of like cold sale connection on Instagram, maybe that makes sense, even though it's
Yeah, maybe.
seedy and I hate that shit. But I'll tell the story really quick of how we connected, because I will never stop being embarrassed about this. So I was at the Comedy Store one night doing a set, and Gerard Butler, my good friend Gerard Butler,
shout out G.
was there. We're not good friends, but we had met once before when he was in the audience of a show, and he told me I was brilliant. And it doesn't matter. He's just a man, but he's very large and Scottish, so it felt important. I was
That
just
matters.
like, thank you. Hold me. And he was there watching Theo, and I said hi to him and whatever. And I went up, and Gerard was in the back of the room. He's like, oh, great set. And then there was this other guy who I thought introduced himself as Ryan. And full disclosure, I have terrible night vision, and it's like dark in the back of the room. He was just like an in shape, like,
All those
nice
white people.
actor face white guy, and it was very brief. Had the same mustache.
Dirt.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, that was so funny," and it was just a quick like, "Oh my god, thank you," and then you happen to like probably just in the algorithm or whatever like one of my videos, and I saw there's like the check mark, and I happen to be on Instagram, and the pandemic made me so socially inept and awkward that like this year I had to give myself a personal goal of like reach out to people,
Right.
say hello, just connect, whatever. And I was like, oh, cool. I think it's that guy. I'm going to be like, come do my podcast. That'll be fun. He seemed like a fun guy. And I was like, hey, what's up, man? Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
If you ever want to do my podcast, and you wrote back, you're like, hey, I have no idea who the fuck you think I am. I mean, you didn't say it like that, but you
I
were
remember thinking, damn, was I out? I'm like, where was I? I'm
like,
like,
did I black out?
I'm pretty sure I'm in West Virginia, but I'm like, damn, maybe I met her though, because I've gone to the Comedy Store a good bit. I've got some comedian friends ish. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, maybe I did meet, and I'm thinking, I think she's got me confused because I'm in West Virginia for sure.
Yeah, and you said that. You're like, yeah, I'm in West Virginia. And I was like, damn, I can't even tell you. I wish I knew who I thought you were. Because I was like, well, that guy also seemed pretty nice.
I thought you maybe thought I was some Ryan comedian, because there's a handful of us out there.
Oh,
I'm not
for
a comedian,
sure.
but with the name Ryan.
Yeah, and it's like, there's obviously like mutual followers. And I'm like,
Right.
okay, this guy probably,
This guy.
we've met.
I wonder who he was.
And I was like, this is mortifying. Because I was like, does this... Well, because I'm fucking neurotic, and I'll go through every, like, what is the worst case scenario of this? And I was like, does this look like a move? Does he think that I was like, hey, I think we met before, like, that I'm, like, a man in the 80s hitting on someone? Like, hey, do we know each other?
Think
And
I
was like-
know you.
I was like, no, I was just trying to make friends, and I thought we had shook hands, and I'm a fucking idiot.
It was great though, because I'm like, nah, but I'll follow you anyways. We got mutual friends. I support comedy.
Yeah, and I was like, cool.
I'm a comic at heart with no talent.
That's objectively untrue.
Comedic talent.
You got paid for your first set.
Oh yeah,
That's,
and then I retired.
that's it. Go out on top.
2012. It was all over for me.
Man, I wish you could find those. Do you ever,
I still write stuff down, and I actually went to a open mic probably last year before I moved back, and I did 5 minutes, and there was literally 7 people by there, but you get those 3 laughs, and you're like, okay,
yeah, this would crush in a real show.
maybe this would be all right. And then I actually did listen to it back. I was like, Jesus Christ, you fucking are stupid and you suck.
Well, you sound like a comedian.
I mean, you should see me doing self-tapes. Like, the great thing about not having to walk into rooms to audition anymore is that you have some control.
But it's like a gift and a curse.
But the worst thing is you have to watch yourself back.
And the perfectionism of
And
like, I could do it better.
Oh my God. Not even that, but just like, oh my God, I look like shit.
Yeah, and then like trying to be like, can I get the lighting better?
Yeah,
Or
you would think. I mean, I've done this for years now, and I'm moving fucking lights like the worst cinematographer in town. I'm like, maybe if I turn this down, let me fix the brightness on my iPhone. I'm like, God, I still look like a drug addict, but I guess that's good for the role.
I guess that is what they're casting.
That is what they want me to do, but Jesus, I mean, God, it's pretty bad. But luckily we're on strike, so.
So yeah, how that's. I
Everyone's-
can't even get into the details.
Everyone's
about
talking. Oh, that was the other thing about that Hollywood party. Where was I? I was going somewhere with that earlier. Oh, they were just talking
shit.
about anti-vaccine, and they're talking about RFK, and I thought she was serious because I'm not like. I've heard RFK on like maybe Rogan
Was he
a
on
little
Rogan,
bit.
I
I've heard him.
think?
Theo's had him on for a couple of times, and I don't know, man. He's
He's just a guy
a
with
guy with some.
his
He's smarter
opinions.
than me, and he has some probably different ideas, and no one's paying him, and there may be some truth to what he's saying. I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what he's
I
saying.
have no idea. I just know that people are mad about it.
He's
But I also know that like, I don't want to say all the time. Like, there's people who are just outright crazy people who somehow get a spotlight. But, like, things don't strike a nerve if they're completely have no basis in reality.
right.
So anyone even if it's someone I disagree with, like, if someone's really pissing you off, it's like, is it because you're worried that it might be true? Is that, like, the fear?
I think so, because when they're talking about an RFK at a fucking Hollywood party and it's dark outside, I'm like, oh, and then I realized where I was and who was saying it, and I'm like, all right, why did I even say? Because I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, when you join in.
But I try to be like, yeah, maybe RFK 2020. She's like, are you voting for RFK? And I'm just like, oh, is she serious? Or
Sounds
not?
like JFK. I'm
And
not sure.
I
He's
said
probably a good
something.
guy.
I made a Kennedy joke, and apparently wasn't good.
You bombed at a Hollywood party.
Wrong crowd, and I was like, you know what? I said something like,
You guys, it doesn't matter. He's gonna die because of the curse. So I just.
he even said he's gonna probably get assassinated by the CIA. So you heard it here second.
Yeah. So it's, they'll replay this clip forever.
Yes. R.I.P. RFK in advance.
Yeah.
But besides that, there was some other talk, like this girl had on some fancy boots, and she's kind of famous on a show or whatever, does this and that, and there were people I could tell didn't know her, but they were coming up there. I'm like, oh my God, I love those boots. And she's like, no, they're just shoes. I'm like, just say
Don't
fucking.
dress like that and be like, thank you.
Just
Like,
say thanks.
if you went overboard, like embrace it. You can't be like, oh, these things, yeah, they're
Just-
literally on fire. What do you?
They're some $5,000 boots, I could tell, just because I know bougie things, and I'm like,
Yeah.
someone complimented you on your stupid boots,
You didn't roll out of the house in Crocs and go, I guess I'll stop by. Like,
and then you want to say, oh no, they're just shoes. Just say, oh, thanks,
Yeah,
and
fuck
fucking
you.
move on. Like the
Yeah.
lady that I tipped today at Dinosaur Coffee. I said, thank you. I said, sorry, I'm taking so long. I've never been here. And then I said, have a good day. And I got nothing back.
she's like,
I
dude, that's what I hate about LA is like the lack of friendliness. Also the fact that everything has a tip now. And it's like, it costs a fortune.
Tell
I know minimum wage is $15. I'm not just going to tip you and you're being a bitch. Like, no, you gotta earn this.
the way they spin it around.
I know. It fucks me up with like, because almost everyone will go like, you're going to see some things on the screen, and then they like pretend to do something else. And it's like, there's nothing on the screen except a tip. Why don't you go, there's an option for a tip if you'd like. We appreciate it.
I would like
Either
a
way.
bell to ring so they know that I have tipped you, because otherwise I don't think they know until later. Like I want a buzz so that I can get some fucking acknowledgement.
Yeah. Ding. Yeah. Like
So you
an
can
old dive
instantly-
bar where they go, oh my God, and they ring the bell because you
Yes.
tipped.
It's like when the change hits the jar in the old days. Oh, here you go. Keep the change. Ching, ching, ching. And they say, thank you.
Thank you. And they're just like,
We're so old fashioned.
and it'll start sometimes on like the automatic choice is like 25%. I was like, 25% because you poured me. I'm like, and I get like black coffee. And I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind?
Didn't do anything for you.
Yeah. You.
Yeah, I tipped 20
I mean, it's like I
something today. I
do
know
it,
was-
but I'm always like, today's the day. I'm not gonna.
I usually tip $1.
Yeah.
I'll go custom.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some things I'm
I
gonna need
got
to
one
push.
thing. I'm paying $1.
Yeah, because everything else is 10, 15, 25, and I'm like, let's just do $1
Yeah, and
for
it's,
that personality.
I know. Well, especially like in LA, in this part of town too. It's like everything's bougie, so it's like the price is jacked up
Oh.
anyway. That you're like, that company's profiting so much.
Fucking $20 beer,
It's crazy.
and then they flip the thing around to you. They're gonna see some things. And,
You're gonna there's this thing, and you're like,
like this fucking Michelob Ultra is 1975,
that's
and I'm not talking the year.
no, jeez. I mean, that's got to be a nice thing about being. You're back in West Virginia.
Oh my god!
Is
I
it
mean, I don't do
fucking-
much, but when I do go out and I get
You feel like a
2
king?
beers for $5.50,
Yeah, you're like, oh my God, it's like being in another country.
and I tip 30%, because
And
that means that's what $1.50 or something.
Yeah, and they're like, oh my God.
Oh my god!
Did you mean to give me this much? You're a king.
But you know, the thing is, when I go home, or when I am home, but I go out, everyone wants to buy you a drink. Everyone wants to like, oh, I got it, I got his, and I'm like, I don't really drink much but beer, because that's how I know I can drink and not get fucked up.
Yeah, because everything else will fucking real creep up on you.
Yeah,
quick.
5 whiskeys versus 5 whatever.
Dude, 5 whiskeys and I
Bud
am a
Light, shout out
liability.
Bud Light. I don't give a fuck. I'll drink Bud Light. I'll support this person. I'll support whoever. I don't give
Dude,
a
it's
shit.
what are you like? I like the taste of Bud Light. You know what's so funny is the people who like went hard on like fuck Bud Light. I did a comedy club where in Florida where they're like, yeah, we had to stop selling Bud Light because everyone wouldn't buy it, and they'd be like, you guys sell Bud Light, but they're like Michelob Ultra sales have gone through the roof, and it's the same company. It's Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah, people are pretty dumb.
They're just, it's.
And I don't know what it was. I'm a big headline reader. I don't know what everyone's upset
I
about.
think they did like
something about a lady
an
that
ad
used to not
and
be a lady.
yeah, a
or
woman's
something.
transgendered who's like, I love Bud Light, and it's like, what is your problem with that? They were like, do you think it's gonna make you transgendered? Are you worried that all those hot girls from the commercials that were cisgendered that you thought maybe you'd fuck if you drank Bud Light are gonna surprise you and be a man and be like, ha ha, it was all a ruse? Like, it's wild.
I went to Bud Light story. I went to a Rough and Rowdy, a bar. You know, the Barstool does this Rough and Rowdy. It used to. I'm pretty sure it started in West Virginia, but years ago when I was a teenager. It was Rough and Rowdy. It's all the like rednecks or whoever.
Yeah.
Go. I could challenge you to a 3-round boxing match.
You just-
they'd fill up the Civic Center and be 12,000 people.
You
there.
just a random person could be like, I'll fight you.
Yeah, before social media. Now it's a whole thing where you challenge them, and there's all these
sponsors
interviews,
and, like, yeah.
and now Barstool bought them, and they do pay-per-views.
So
So
it's not just random.
the little bit of juice I got back home now, they gave me and my boy ringside tickets.
That's
so
great. You're like, I got all the perks I need.
I couldn't get a sitter that day, so I was like, "Fuck it, boy. You're 7 years old. You're gonna go see some.
You're
Rough
gonna
and
learn what a
Rowdy."
man is today.
Oh, you're gonna learn all kinds of things. But here's where it gets funny. I was like, "You're too young. We're not."
Just gets hit in the head with a tooth.
So there were little people fighting, which we used to call them the M word. I don't.
The word. I mean, Brad Williams uses it, but
You guys can say it. Comedians are.
Hey,
allowed
that's our word.
Yeah.
And I like, and the R word too is
Yeah.
back.
I just say R-tart, but shout out to all my R's.
Yeah. My people.
So check this out. So there's little people fighting, and Josie said my boy's 7 years old, and then I got my best friend B. Watts, big black dude since kindergarten. So we go to
Fucking
this.
B. Watts. I love this.
And Josie calls him B. Watts, and it's great. His name's Brandon, but it's B. So we're there. We're watching the fights, and we got the greatest view I've ever had to a boxing match. 'Cause I've
Yeah.
never been to a boxing match. Well, actually, I have. Rough and Rowdy as a teenager. But I'm fucking 3 rows by the ring. You know what I mean?
Damn.
It's great. No free drinks, but that's okay. They were 12 pretty expensive beers for West Virginia.
For West Virginia.
For a deuce, I think they were every bit of 12 and
Damn.
2/4. So.
Damn, that's for West Virginia.
And when you're buying beers for a 7-year-old and your best friend, that's
It adds up.
Do
the
the
kid
math.
can drink.
do the math. So long story short, they're fighting. It's, the people are fighting. It's fun. They play music between the during the matches. So eventually, I go to get a beer, and I told B to go. I said, B, here, go get us some beers. I'm gonna get Josie some popcorn. He comes back. What did he come back with? Fucking Bud Lights.
Bud Light.
Whatever. I was like, hell yeah. I didn't know what kind of night it was gonna be.
Uh-oh.
Well, fast forward to a few fights. I hear people booing as I'm coming back from probably getting Bud Lights because that's what we started with. So I was like, fuck yeah.
You got to stick to what you started with.
100%.
That's half the battle.
But this is where it gets fun.
Oh, no.
So I hear people booing, and I'm like, who the fuck is booing? Like, who's booing? And then B is like, I don't know. They said it's the first ever. I said, what'd they say? He said, it's the first ever commissioned trans fight. I said, you kidding me? So here comes out maybe some lady, I think. It was a couple
Like a
of
transgendered ladies?
No, they're just ladies.
Oh.
They're just ladies. You
Oh.
can't, don't. How
Well,
dare you.
that's,
No, I'm just kidding.
that's a conversation for a different guest probably, but like,
I think they're ladies now.
but yeah, well, yeah.
But you were correct, transgender ladies, because they did say the first ever commissioned transgender fight, and I don't know if that was true, but
I always
was
wonder
like-
if I'm being more or less inclusive
Yeah,
because I
we're-
see people say transgendered woman online or like
yeah,
they
you want
identify
to be treated
themselves
like
as
a
that.
lady, but don't
So
call
I'm just
yourself.
go like, do I just call you a woman or do you want me to whatever. I mean, that's someone else's question.
That's a deep,
But this was the first one they'd ever done in West Virginia.
allegedly ever anywhere. Who knows if that's true, right? So I was like, oh,
Transgender
that's
fans, let
I
me
was like,
know.
damn, that's why they're booing them. That's fucked up. And then so I'm like, fuck yeah, this
Your
one's for
Bud
you.
Light? That's so fun. This Bud's for you.
So then the other one comes out. They boo this person, and I'm like, damn, West Virginia, cold crowd. But then they get the fight, and it was actually a good fight.
Of
I
course
couldn't-
it was.
I couldn't figure out what was going on. One, I think used to be a lady, now is whatever, and it was something weird. But they were both lady looking now.
Okay.
I need to roll.
That's
the tape back.
that's the science term.
Yeah, it's very scientific. And so first song they play,
Oh no.
and I said, oh my god. It was Aerosmith.
Dude looks like a lady.
Dude looks like a lady. And I
God
said,
damn it. You hacks.
my God. And so
Yes.
I wish I got it on my phone. I would have to go back. It was some song like that, all 3 rounds, because it went all 3 rounds.
Oh, yeah. It's fun. That's what a fight.
It was a hell of a fight. And
What is this? Just some tits tearing each other apart? That's the best way to do it.
tits, dicks, and Bud Light. I mean,
got
it was
everything.
quite the evening. So then fast forward, there was a couple little people that came out, and Josie's on his seat, and he's like, "Are those kids?" And I'm laughing, and I'm like, no. He's like, "Why are you laughing?" And then I'm like, I don't know. They're not kids. They're just like, he's like, why are they like that? And I'm like, I can't. I've had too many Bud Lights. How am I going to explain this to him?
Yeah.
I'm not smart
Little
enough.
kids are so innocent.
And I'm just like, I'm always telling them this is why you have to be grateful. You're healthy and, you're smart and all the things. Like some kids, because you see people in wheelchair, you see people with no legs. You've seen it all.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you got to be grateful, buddy. Like this is
Yeah, be grateful and be nice,
you
and
got
that's all you can.
10 fingers, 10 toes, like yada, yada. So another one comes out later. And then now we both had another Bud Light. So we're enjoying the fact that Josie's like, what the fuck is why are these people so little?
I mean, the innocence of someone seeing, it's just something different. And if it's not your norm, the first time I saw an interracial couple, my mom like retells this story. It was in Mississippi. There was a hurricane, so we had to go stay on base in this hurricane safe building. And surprise, surprise, hadn't seen a lot of, hang on, let me pause it really quick because I think my camera just is nearly, okay, we're back. Had to redo the camera. So the story I was just telling, it was southern Mississippi, so surprise, surprise, saw a lot of white couples with white kids, black couples with black kids. Mississippi took a long time to come around, and
Goddamn right.
I had just never seen an interracial couple before, and I happened to be in kindergarten, and we were learning our colors, and I was obsessed with letting people know that white people aren't white, we're actually peach, and black people are actually brown. Like I was like, couldn't understand. I was so logical minded, probably on the spectrum. Like, why aren't we saying brown and peach? Like I thought I was educating the world. So we're sharing this room in a hurricane safe building with someone my dad works with on base. He was in the military. Guy comes in, white guy, black wife, mixed children.
Oh my.
Beautiful family. And out loud, I just go, "Isn't that interesting? A peach man with a brown family." Like, kids just don't know.
How old were you?
I was 5, and everyone just cracks up
That's so
because
sweet.
they're like, "Oh my God, it's just so cute." But then it's, people get older, and if you get old and you haven't been exposed to stuff, suddenly people are like, "You're hateful." And it's like, no, I just ain't never seen 2 men grabbing each other's butts before.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, my son just found out about because I got a gay Uncle Bob and he's got a husband, Uncle Mike, and they're married. They've been married for a long time, and my mom was the one luckily to have to explain this to him. He was like, she said something to him like, "Yeah, sometimes that's his husband." He was like, he laughs and says, boys don't marry each other."
Yeah, because it's like you just don't know.
And it's
as
like you
kids.
don't know till you know, and like I wasn't one of those super. Well, I mean, we went through so many things before. We left here right around the time he was 6, so he could have figured it out. But we didn't live. I mean, we lived in Los Feliz, then we lived in the Valley. So
Yeah,
during the
people
pandemic,
around,
you know,
yeah,
we weren't really
pandemic.
we weren't
No
really
one's
going
around.
to the Abbey during those times. Like we weren't hanging out over there.
If it wasn't the pandemic, maybe
We would have been there for sure on what is it, drag night, drag
just
bingo or something.
drag bingo every day.
Would have been there.
You'd be like, that lady has a lot of makeup on. You're like,
Yeah.
she sure does.
Yes. Some people like to dress up. Kind of like Daddy does for a living. Yeah, same but different.
It's different. It's
Yeah.
it's this. So you had to have the moment of
I didn't. Mom
Well-
told me the story. I was like, yeah, I guess I figured it out one day too. And I was like, Uncle Bob's a little different. Cool.
yeah.
And that's why I wasn't.
Uncle Bob sure loves his roommate.
He sure loves cooking.
Yeah.
He sure. Not that all gay men are great cooks. I'm just saying.
No, but my gay best friend is such a good cook. And
Sure, good,
and fucking
great dresser.
yeah, dresses great, can decorate a home, and I'm like, can you just help me?
Loves to dance.
Yeah. And probably loves, I bet the ladies love him.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
all the ladies.
oh, every woman has loved a gay man in her life and been like,
I mean, they just hang out with girls.
they're fun.
Fun. Everyone's
Yeah.
fun.
Well, and I mean, that's so interesting because I mean, we don't have to go down that road, but that there's so much going on with like that conversation in schools now of like what's appropriate to say and what's not, and which is interesting because how much of even a kid observing like boys don't marry other boys was that taught to them, or is that just an observation they made because they haven't seen it yet? You know,
right. Definitely wasn't taught to him.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't. And that's what people are like, I don't want people teaching my kids about. And I'm like, I don't think they're teaching them. I think it's
natural, if there is a natural way, if there ever was a natural way of Adam and Eve. Sorry. Adam and Steve.
Well, that's fine too.
That is fine too.
We
just
love
saying,
Steve.
At some point in the beginning, allegedly.
Yeah. There wasn't anyone else around.
That's how they made a baby.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
And yeah, so it's like
So maybe that's.
You learn those things.
You're wired naturally to think that way.
Yeah.
Some people are.
Yeah. Well, it's probably if you're heterosexual, you think, well, this is what I like. That's probably what everyone likes as a little kid. And then you go, wait, what?
Yeah. And then you figure it out. You're like, okay, cool.
Yeah. And then, and hopefully, you get to figure it out in a nice, friendly environment instead of
some hate and,
Yeah, but I mean, just kids are so innocent.
Saying bad words kind of way.
Yeah.
Which, luckily, I didn't grow up that way. That's why I have a lot of
I
friends
was surrounded by
I mean,
people
I
talking
heard
about that.
I heard all the things.
I was just friends with everybody, so I'd be like, oh, okay, well, I can't talk to you about these things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I heard a lot of choice words, and the very fine line of me being really cool and me being really racist. Not so much in the family, but like just in the general area that I'm from.
Oh, yeah, West Virginia.
Because I saw a lot of rebel flags, and I didn't really figure it out till I was older what exactly that meant. Because it's pride, not hate, or heritage, not hate.
Yeah,
and
I just was like, oh, that's like a country music flag.
I'm like, that's a losing war flag now. Is what I think.
It is weird to be like
second place.
It's like, you guys, you lost, right? Like,
Yeah.
Damn, that's.
Yeah, but we'll rise again.
Sure. You can't get off of your recliner.
That's my favorite bumper sticker. The South will rise again. And I remember seeing that when I was 19. Didn't give it much thought, but I think about that now, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's because it's like, do you think that?
That's a lot of rising.
Yeah, that's going to be a whole situation.
Yeah.
That's too much work, frankly. Knock it off.
But my fun, I was going to say.
Oh, sorry.
I was going back to their peach and brown story.
Oh, yeah.
Because I never said Josie is part. He's a lot of things. He's like Puerto Rican and black, whatever the hell I am, German.
Just some sort of hodgepodge of white.
Yeah, just a big.
Do you know what you are?
Cracker ass mutt.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm just a white man.
I didn't do 23. I did the
Ancestry.
Yeah, .com, and I was like Scandinavian, Irish, Dutch, and some other things, which is interesting. Because when I first moved out here, I was always told that I was part Native American, which still could be true. I found out because there's something about like they don't have enough
of the
information.
They don't have enough samples to like keep it. Yeah, because they keep on 23andMe at least. Like if you like, I did it years ago, and like it tweaks over the years as they get more like input. So
yeah,
that is a real thing.
That's the one I would need to do because my uncle was telling me the reason why it might not have showed up. Because, when you move, even 10, 15 years ago, they're like, oh, your manager wants to know, okay, so what are you? What box can we put you in?
What are all the things we can send you out for?
So I'm like, well, I'm this, that, and I'm Cherokee Creek Indian. He's like, great. Every now and then there would be like a Native American character on a show. Yeah. And it was funny because I was thinking about it when I was coming over here to get this dinosaur coffee. Shout out.
Yeah.
Nice.
Really nice employees.
Nice people. She was pretty, though, at least, I guess.
Of course she was. Pretty women are just allowed to be bitches.
If I had those eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I was, like, super hot, I'd be a bitch.
You'd sell coffee.
Yeah. I'd just be like, whatever.
There's going to be some things on the menu.
I'm just going to marry someone rich. What do you want?
Flip it around. This 25% will be good. So I'm Creek Indian, which I didn't even know that was a thing, and this is like Georgia, Florida tribes, which a lot of family I have is from there.
Yeah.
So I remember going on an audition right here on Hillhurst, and I remember thinking I'm in the room, and this is back in the day when we used to walk in the rooms and you had to see people.
And everybody looked like you?
Except for when I went to audition for Thunder Ricky or whatever the fuck his name. It was like, some kind of.
Was everyone like staring daggers like, fuck
well,
you,
they don't really know because there'll be other roles, but usually the time slot is, everyone's going to.
You're signing up on a sheet.
You're kind of going to look like this slot of, all the Ricky Thunders. And I was definitely the most gringo-lookingest Ricky Thunder.
And everyone's like, yeah, he's getting the part.
And I'm not. No, I'm thinking, what am I doing here? This is not
This isn't my role.
I'm not that native. And then I go in and I'm probably bombed and obviously never heard anything back. But the real people deserved it. I mean, this is before they're trying to really do diversity thing.
I mean, when they the casting Scarlett Johansson as like an Asian woman or whatever.
Yeah, that was fun.
That have happened.
When The Last Samurai, Tom Cruise was okay.
It's so funny. Yeah, but that's so funny. That's wild to go in and be like, oh, hello everyone.
So I never. I'm such a scatterbrain. I'm
Dude,
sorry.
same. It's great.
What am I talking about?
I
went from the native thing, and then I was going to tell this thing about how when you said peach and brown. So Josie, I've never said black or anything, but I've never said Native or African American because I feel like that's really divisive myself.
I think it's so weird how
none of my black friends say African
Yeah, no,
American.
it's like if you have hung around black people, you don't think
American?
it's weird to say black.
If I'm white, you're just another color too. You're going to be black. But Josie, when he would describe someone when he was little, I think he's finally kind of caught on because when I'm back home, I have a lot of black friends and, he sees how we talk. But he calls him brown. He'd be like the brown guy, but it could be a black guy that's brown,
or like Middle Eastern,
or it could
any
be
shade of brown,
any shade that's not you or I. He's like, oh yeah, the brown kid. And I'm like, fuck, is that racist? And I didn't correct him.
I think it's innocent, and honestly, if somebody were to be like, your kid's racist, that person's a psychopath.
Yeah.
You're like, is this person or are they not a shade of brown? Do not gaslight my kid.
Unless his shirt says pride, not hate, or heritage, not hate.
Yeah, he's probably a shade of somewhere from tan to I wish I knew more of the color spectrum of cool color names.
It is so innocent, and it's like I'm letting him figure it out because I'm not overcorrecting. I'm not telling him, what he should say. But now he's going on 8, and he's going on 18. The kid's
smart,
so smart. He's
how is that?
He's into engineering stuff. I get these engineering kits sent to him. He's not really into sports yet, which is fine.
Is it a bummer? Are you a sports guy?
Yeah, I mean, but look how great that worked out for me. It's probably better to do engineering and stuff like that. And I'm trying to push him into music. I'm trying not to. He has no interest in being an actor really, which is good. There's not too many child actors that
don't end up unwell.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's not.
So you're trying to just what are you into? How can I encourage that? Which I think is the best.
We do baseball. We did baseball this year for the first time, and I helped coach. And
is that the most fun?
It was fun, but it was also my patience is.
You take it too seriously?
No, just he's at that age. He's first graders. They don't fucking listen. And I'm like,
they're screaming. They're picking their nose.
Yeah, they're over there. What they call it?
Chasing butterflies in the outfield.
No, they're more fucking ass grabbing type of situation.
Yeah.
Throwing rocks at each
Just
other.
Pranking each other. Yeah.
Yeah, pulling, doing
Horsing around.
Horsing around.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say ass grabbing because that's okay, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, as long as it's just the kids with each other.
Yeah. As long as there's no coaches involved.
Yeah, as long as the coach ain't grabbing no asses.
So I missed a lot of games because I luckily had to go out of town for work a couple times for great network television shows that I won't name. That have been canceled now.
And that we're not promoting because there's a strike.
Oh, yeah.
No, but whatever. I don't even know. This is going up in the fall, hopefully.
Oh, I wonder, what does that mean, promoting? We can't even mention it?
I don't know.
Yeah, we didn't look that up.
Yeah, well, no, this is just a psychotic theory of mine, but I also had just finished reading this book called The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and it's a fictional story about an old Hollywood starlet, and she's telling her stories of then I married this guy and we had a film coming out. But Ariana Grande went through a divorce, and I just saw this tangentially on Twitter. I don't follow it, but then someone else who I have a friend who has very big pop culture podcast. So he's always like, this is what's going on. Oh my God, this is happening. She started dating her co-star of the Wicked movie that's coming out. And I was like, oh, because they can't promote the movie, but they can get publicity for dating.
Brilliant.
So it's like low key. People are going to be like, well, we got to see the movie.
Oh.
And I'm like, damn.
I wonder if they like each other.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope that, but I'm like, I mean, and also I made up the part. It's like, because their movie's coming out. They very well could have like.
Oh, it's a movie.
They made like
is
a
it
Wicked.
Okay.
They like made a musical version that's coming out, I think, in 2024, which I didn't even know till he said her Wicked co-star. And I was like, there's a Wicked movie? Oh my God. But I'm going to see it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, damn, that's what people are going to be doing now. Just like having situations to be like, so you think of, what are they up to? What's that actor got going on?
Situationship's a new word people are throwing around.
I mean, yeah, that they're just going to like, let's just like let people see us out a few times and think that we're hooking up.
Yeah.
Since we got that movie coming out, we can promote it.
Yeah, that's brilliant, actually.
It's wild. But I'm like, damn.
It's probably a big budget movie or something,
Oh, yeah.
A lot of
the studio's
dancing.
probably like, why don't you guys just be seen a few places?
Go to the places
And
out
I'm like,
there.
that still works. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm sorry. I interrupted
I don't even know
your
what I was
story
talking
about the Little League. You missed some games.
Oh, yeah, whatever. We're talking about some stupid show I did. So it's fun being a coach, but I was like, I'll help. I can't be the guy because I'm hoping have to go out of town, and I didn't go out of town enough, but just enough. I was hoping was a reg somewhere. Sorry, I can't.
They're
come
like,
at
I
all.
probably won't be able to be here for most of the season. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm still here.
But you're gonna get a lot of toys, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be fine.
But it's paying for all of your engineering kits.
Yeah,
so.
100%. Yeah. But it was a good time. I learned a lot about being a coach dad and how crazy parents are. It wasn't too bad, but you would hear like people taking it way too seriously.
Way too seriously?
They're in first grade, guys.
I'm
Chill
afraid
out.
of being that parent if I have kids.
Well, I think you would be the type that would be okay if your team is, 13-0, and maybe they were going to take one loss, but still win, because it's going to teach your kid
humility. You don't always win. It doesn't always work out.
Win. It's not that serious. Like these fucking people, and I wasn't there for this game, but I heard about it. I was like, I'm glad I wasn't there. They were just like, well, the rules is when it hits the cutoff, man. No, we play different, because every league had their.
It's a little bit.
It's coach pitch. So the coaches are pitching.
Oh, that's
so
that
like,
age, yeah.
There's no catcher involved, which is really badly run, because
there should still be a catcher.
There should be an adult there to be able to make a play, because these are fundamentals, and I know baseball. Okay?
Yeah, that's a big place to just not have anybody.
Yeah, it's like when the outfielder hits the cutoff man, then everyone's dead. Like everyone stops where they are. And I'm like, that's just stupid.
Yeah, we're like, just learn the game. Why are you having a? You're fine. It's also, man, people. Kids are sensitive, and I know that like the way kids were treated in the 50s isn't the right. Just fucking walk it off. But like, man, stop treating your kid like they're an idiot. Let them learn the actual thing.
Yeah, it's a lot of hero dad and moms out there in the bleachers, and luckily it wasn't too bad. Like the stuff you see on social media, and people start fighting, and you see the headlines. You're like, "Dad murdered at Little League game." And you're like,
so
luckily
crazy.
it was nothing like that. But that shit really happens, and I'm just like, God damn! Could you imagine like? You wake up dead one day because you were at a fucking Little League game and you had some extra shit to say.
Yeah, and
and someone said, "Oh yeah,"
and they just fucking kill you.
Dead.
Dude, I used to ref soccer in high school, and it's like 7 and 8 year olds, 9 and 10 year olds, and the way that some parents would flip out if I made a call that they're like, they're not offsides. But I'm just crazy, and I would just be like, you're yelling at a 14-year-old. Do you feel good? It's like the call stands, and you're yelling at a 14-year-old girl. So maybe think, like, I would just be
Good.
a fucking, but I for sure could have just been punched by a dad at some point.
Yeah.
Dude,
Well,
it's Alaska. People are wild.
Okay, so that's what I was going to ask you about. So you were born in Alaska?
No.
You were
so
oh, that's right, the military thing.
I was born
Right.
in Germany.
Oh my god.
Sorry. Military. Moved to southern Mississippi when I was 3 because my dad got stationed there, and then wild parents falling apart, psychotic situation, and my mom drove us from Mississippi to Alaska.
You can drive there?
Yeah, a lot of people. Well, we spent 3 days on a ferry boat.
On a boat, yes.
Which she's like, it's gonna be like a cruise ship. It's a Greyhound bus on the ocean.
We're
like
gonna stay in the car.
Yeah, you're just in the, just eating tuna fish and being like, well, I hope we get there
Are
soon.
we there? It's getting colder, Mom.
I hate it. Yeah, and then my mom, like, I remember pulling into our like new apartment is a real loose term for the place we lived when we first got there. It's just,
Was it like an igloo?
it's just very much temporary housing. It was like a furnished place. It was one bedroom. It was me, my mom, and my older brother with like 2 twin beds. It was like a dorm, basically. It just like, it's one of those, you live there till you find where you're going to live or whatever.
And why? Did I miss the why?
Well, she got a job there.
Oh.
She like, I was applying for jobs seemingly in the worst places on earth, as far away from Mississippi as possible.
What are they selling in Alaska? Or what is?
She was working for the Fish and Wildlife Service.
Oh,
So
okay.
she,
A lot of fish and wildlife there.
yeah, just the government being like, you can fish here and you can wildlife there, but you better have a license. Dude, my mom is, and then she's gone so many places that all my friends are like, I think your mom's in the CIA. But like, because she went to like Afghanistan and Iraq when I was in high
wow.
school and then did like 7 years in Korea.
Maybe she is.
She might be.
My stepdad's dad was in some crazy like engineering, super high clearance, and he didn't find out until like recently. He just
Yeah,
died.
because she was in the Corps of Engineers. She had a job there,
Oh.
and like
I guarantee you
she was like, I'm like, she told me she had like top secret high security clearance,
Oh,
and I'm
yeah,
like, why?
she
She's
was-
like, it's just part of the
she was
thing.
making fish into fucking like submarine like
Yeah.
spies.
She's like, I'm just playing with some
bears
fish.
to Russia with. I guarantee it.
Yeah, they're just going over the eye.
Yeah. Yeah, the robot. I guarantee you, your mom's a fucking spy,
Dude, but
dude.
she's like a big mouth. I'm like, dude, if my googly-eyed ass mom is fucking part of our national security, we're fucked.
That's all a decoy. That's what a good spy would do.
No, I have a whole pitch deck I started about an animated series just about like
love that.
spy mom whose deep cover is being like a mentally ill alcoholic.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Because I was like,
You
there's
might
no way this.
Cut this part out
Yeah,
because
we're gonna have
someone
to-
will steal your idea.
All right, I'm waving at the camera so I know, so I can scrub through. That's so funny. But fuck, I forgot the point. The
It's a-
whole point is, yeah,
it's a
we
good
lived.
idea.
Thank you.
Oh my.
Are
God.
you kidding?
What's that mean?
Hang on, let me see. I don't want to fucking
It's all good.
take up your life. Well, whatever.
I got nothing going on except for driving around all by myself. You know, when I come back here, I realize I don't know. I realize everyone's gotten older and married, and I don't have, as you know, a lot of people have left, and I just.
Your like friend group is dissipated.
Yeah, people have real jobs and stuff, and
Well, look, if you want to come to the Comedy Store this week, I'm there twice. Let me know.
what day?
I'll guest list you. This is
What-
on the podcast.
What days? are you there?
Thursdays and Thursday and Saturday.
Thursday, I'm supposed to go to the Ice House, which I haven't been to in a
Ooh.
long time.
I
since
haven't-
They've
I
redone
haven't
it.
been there since they redid it.
Yeah,
Let me know
so-
how it is.
Yeah,
It's supposed to
I'm
be great.
supposed to go, and I hate being those people that say, because there's a lot of that around town.
Like what, name dropping and
No,
fucking-
like flaking.
Oh, yeah, no.
People, yeah, I'll come, or yeah, let's link up. Kind of like trying to date, or like people are just, it's unbelievable. So anyways, I told this guy, my buddy, do you know Kevin Mack?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I met him when we were both. I knew what I was trying to do, but I had no idea he was like going to do what he's doing now.
Yeah.
And I've seen his stuff. I've never seen him live, but I've seen him enough.
I've
to
only
know.
seen him at Roast Battle. I haven't actually like
I've
been
seen
on
him
the show
enough
with
to
him.
know, like, all right, he's doing this.
He's
He
doing his
knows what
shit.
he's doing. Like,
Hell yeah.
I've tried to do that. It is comedy is my like love, even though I play a lot of fucking dark and drama, not dramedy. I wish dark and drama
dream.
characters.
Yeah.
But I love stand-up comedy. I mean, I've seen all the shit, all the Richard Pryors, all the George Carlin. Like, I used to listen when I figured out I was going to be an actor, and I dropped out of college, and I started working with my dad.
Because that's
I
what you
had-
should do.
And I had absolutely.
I mean, honestly, like, what are we going to college for?
Before iPods, there was a thing called iRiver.
Whoa.
It was like a little triangular,
Cutting edge-
like it looked like a little Altoids case, but in a triangular thing, and it was like not even a gigabyte worth of shit. But you know, audio files aren't that big, so I had Carlin, and I had all the old school Richard Pryor shit, and I would just listen to everything. So I've always loved comedy.
Same. I have like
I mean,
records. That's the only reason I have records in a record
my
player.
boys, like when you're friends with black people, they put you on the Dolomite in the 90s. So I
shit.
was listening to shit that like people like me really didn't get exposed to unless you had like a fucking.
Dude, I grew up on black comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's God, and that's it explains why I'm so physical.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, I grew up watching fucking,
Oh,
all the like black sitcoms in the fucking 90s.
Oh my
And like
God.
Martin, you look at like In Living Color. and
Martin is still to this day. I went back recently and watched it. And I was like, it still holds up. It's so good.
so fucking funny.
I like the terrible ones too that were good to me, like the Wayans brothers.
Oh yeah, I love them,
like,
man.
You know, John Witherspoon, R.I.P.
R.I.P. Yeah.
God, like that. What was the other one with Steve Harvey? I kind of watched that one.
The Kings of Comedy.
No, I love the Kings of Comedy. I
Yeah,
mean, he had a right around that time. He had a show with Cedric.
He did?
Him and Cedric. He
Damn.
was Mr. Hightower. What was that called?
Fuck.
It might have been the Cedric the Entertainer show. It might have been Ced show.
Damn. Oh,
But yeah, so
you know,
I grew up with watching all that kind of stuff, and Kings of Comedy actually shot in Charlotte, and I was a teenager. But
Oh,
I remember
shit.
hearing about it coming in town because I actually lived in Charlotte. Because I was like, I'm getting out of West Virginia. Fuck this place.
Fuck. Yeah,
And
I'm going to big town.
I'm going to the
big
I'm going to
town,
the
Charlotte.
Queen City. Yeah, it was a big city compared to where I'm from.
That's so funny.
But I lasted a year there after I broke my eye, and
you broke your eye?
that's how I got onto this thing. Is because I was like, I left West Virginia. I got cut playing basketball, 7th, 8th, and 9th grade. I was a late bloomer. I was 5'0" in 10th grade, and then I shot up, grew 9 inches somehow between then.
You're like, I'm back,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah. Now I'm tall.
Yeah, now they all came crawling back.
Yeah. And so I fucking made the basketball
I'm
team.
not a point guard anymore, bitch.
Yeah, I'm almost a 2 guard now. But I went to Charlotte, came back to West Virginia for Thanksgiving break, did our annual football game, got an elbow to my eye, broke this bone, broke my nose, the scars from. I had 3 surgeries.
Fuck.
I still have like a little bit of double vision. Like if I was to try to watch TV at night like this, I'd have to move my head like this because I see 2 right now.
Damn, that's crazy.
Baseball career done.
Oh, yeah, because that's such a...
tough to play when you see 2 balls.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, story of my life.
Unless, yeah, tell me about it. Unless you're in West Hollywood and you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah, and then it's... Play ball.
Maybe you want 4.
Yeah,
'cause
bring it
it's
on.
Dudes be fucking.
Dude, yeah, fuck.
Wow.
The
I'm going to get
tenacity.
canceled for that. I'm not a comedian.
Dudes do be fucking. I mean,
I think being gay
straight
would
men
be
must
fun.
wish they were gay.
I always think I had a bit when I am in my comedian brain about how I'm sure someone's already done it and I missed it, but just how fun.
It seems fun to just be like, fuck.
Yeah.
But I also think men take for granted that, like, I think you can do that with a lot of women, and men don't think they can. And I think it's worse that men will, like, fake interest.
Yeah.
Because some women who go, listen, I don't want anything, but do you want to fuck?
Yeah.
And especially, like, I'm in my 30s. I have so many, like, single girlfriends in my 30s, and they're fucking animals.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I just need some dick.
Yeah.
But men will be like, no, I want to, like, if you're interested, great. But if you're not actually interested, just fucking
Yeah, it's
say
a lot.
it.
It's a different time now. It's like we're 10, 15.
And then it's also, that's not the case for every woman. But sorry.
No, 100%. Yeah, but there are girls out there like dudes and dudes out there like girls.
Yeah,
Like,
that want to
so
be
it
wooed or
goes-
don't.
it goes both ways.
Oh, yeah.
And there's people out there doing like really high level, elaborate catfishing type of things.
Oh, yeah. Wait, so we got to talk about
Oh,
this. Because you mentioned to me that are you currently or recently in a
It was
A
not too. It
catfishy
was
situation?
not too long ago, and it happened so fast where I was like, man, I really like this person. Like we talked on the phone and like the videos and the pictures and like
how'd you meet them?
just like you know that folder in your Instagram or whatever like
Where the
that goes.
whatever, who cares?
They're
All
like,
the lights are
wrap it
dying."
up, guy.
Like the request folder where
Yeah,
like
the one that
that
you,
every once in a while you're like, let me make sure I didn't miss something.
Yeah, let me make sure no one wants to give me $20,000.
Yeah, let
for
me make
some-
sure my future wife ain't out there.
And that's what I did. Just recently got subtly ghosted, let's call it, by some girl from Toronto because I like to keep them far away.
Distance,
Apparently,
do you-
well, not really. It's just like happens on that stupid.
You think a little of it is like subconsciously, like avoid
I
an
just
attachment,
think I'm in West Virginia.
and you're like, who am I gonna? No one's here.
There's not a lot going on, and especially for my age, it's over for a lot of people my age.
Oh yeah, because they're
married
already
and
locked
s-
down
and stuff to say.
just tattered.
Yeah. To put it
They've just been through it.
to put it nicely.
Yeah.
So I go through the folder and someone just happened to make a comment about my golden doodle that we just got a year ago. She just turned 1. It's like, oh, is that a golden doodle? Nothing crazy. And I'm in my feels or whatever, and I click on it, I'm like, it's kind of weird profile, but maybe it's legit.
Yeah, she's kind of cute.
I say, yeah, this is it is a golden doodle. You have one?
Yeah. What's up?
That's how it starts, right? So we go back and forth. Come to find out, allegedly she's some kind of doctor, and she's lives in Toronto, just like the last girl that just kind of ghosted me. And I'm like, oh, second time's a charm in Toronto, right?
You're like, I'm just trying to get
And
to Canada.
Toronto's not.
I'm just trying to get the fuck out.
Yeah, I'm trying. Toronto's not that far from me. It's like if you drove, it would take 7 hours, and for me,
Oh.
I've driven from West Virginia to LA so many times.
But that's
now
nothing.
That's
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that close. I'm like, 7
nothing.
hours is nothing.
Yeah, it's a quick, 3.5 hour. You have to connect because our airport's nothing. So you go from wherever to there. So I'm thinking this could work,
Yeah.
right?
There's something.
This
She
could be
seems
fine.
cool.
So we start to talk, and long fucking story, shorter. I'm starting to be like, I don't know, like the like I'm doing renovations on the house I'm living in now, up on the hill with no neighbors, a few
I'm
acres.
the king of the hill.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. There's no traffic in West Virginia, and it's
Ugh.
super peaceful. But I'm also like renovations on an old house. It's like
Ooh,
me and my
that's-
dad. It's a 2-man crew. My dad's the fucking shit, man. He
Oh,
knows how
that's-
to do plumbing. He's an electrician.
What an awesome thing to get to do with your dad.
And so I'm
too.
learning a lot. I know a little bit, but yeah, it's a good thing. He's retired. He loves doing it. I'm like, he's a way better dad than I will ever be, because I'm like, I don't.
Because you don't know how to build a house.
Well, that, and I'm like, even if I did, I'd be like, Josie, I don't know, dude. This house is fucked, dude. You might just want to start over.
Yeah, I would just go somewhere else.
I'm retired.
Yeah, I ain't doing shit.
I ain't doing shit, but it's my grandfather's house, so there's like some bone.
Sentiment.
There's some love in the bones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's I got no neighbors and all the things I said. So I'm going in and out of the house, like cutting tile. I'm doing tile for the first time and doing the grout and doing all this shit. And it's hot as fuck and it's humid. I got sunglasses on, and these pictures and talks and texts are going back and forth. And so when I'm looking at it, and most of it is on Instagram, and it's like where you send a message, and it's the ones where it
Or
just
it like
goes away.
disappears. Yeah.
Not vanish mode, which I still haven't figured out what kind of creepy fucking mode that is for.
No, I've accidentally turned it on a
I've
couple
done it,
times.
I'm like,
and
how
been
do
oh,
I-
they can't see that, can they?
I'm like, what did I do?
Oh no, I'm not gonna send you a picture of my pussy. I don't know how to go away.
Yeah, that was an accident. And I'm like, whoa, how do I get out of it? And they're like, just swipe up. I'm like, oh, that's so weird.
It's weird. I'm
It's
like,
a weird
who's
function.
that?
I'm like,
I guess they're just trying to be like, you don't need Snapchat. Stay on Instagram. Because that's what people use Snapchat for.
yeah, but apparently you can.
Screenshot.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things.
But you get
can do.
notified that if someone screenshots your thing,
Okay.
there was a really funny episode of a podcast where someone told, it was like Chris D'Elia on a podcast. There's a video of like somebody says to him, oh, you
I
can,
saw that.
they get a notification when you screenshot it, and he's like,
you can?
what? I was like, you fucking idiot. Yeah. What?
He's
But-
like, you can? He's like, no, it goes away.
I'm like, no, but you can screenshot. Like, he's like, you can screenshot it. And like, yeah, they get notified. And he had no idea that, like, if you screenshot something, the other person knows. But it's also like, well, at that point, what do you do? I can be like, hey, I know you screenshot that pussy hole picture I sent you. You better delete that.
Yeah, I've had some people screenshot some things. And go, what are you doing? Why? What's the plan? Why are you doing that?
Yeah, why would you?
It's
That's like a type of trust now.
It is.
That like, I trust that if I send you this weird thing, you're not going to fucking
right.
show even like your friend or something. Like, please God.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry, go on about your.
No, it's amazing.
So you're seeing these like vanishing, like the pictures that you can't.
the
re-look
replay.
at
You
them.
can replay it, but then it goes away.
But then it goes away.
Right. And so I'm like going back and forth, and then there was a couple of just regular texts, and you would send it, and then once I started to get suspicious, I went back and looked at them. I was like, wait a minute, now the sun and the sweat's not in my eyes.
Took a picture of a picture.
And the grout, it's just like super photoshopped, kind of. And I know girls will do like the face tuning thing, which is fine, but also like we'll
what do
see
you
you in
look
real
like?
life.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, but men will put the wrong height on a dating app, like they're not going to
True.
meet up with you. So it's
Right.
like everyone's just full of shit.
True,
out here.
man. People are fucking wild. But this is like borderline evil, because I'm telling, all these stories. And July is a super weird month for me. Like, I just turned 40. I got
Happy
married
birthday.
in July. There was death involved in July. So
Yeah.
there's all these things. So July is
Emotional.
forever going to be a weird month for me.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I never celebrate my birthday. That's why I'm like, oh, that's how I stay young, because I never.
Nobody knows.
I never acknowledge it. Like, if you look at my Instagram,
I just ignore it.
there's nothing about happy. Look at
I'm 30 again.
yeah, lordy, look who's not 40.
Who's not saying shit?
Right. So I've never acknowledged it, and this year I was like, I'm gonna do something, man. Like, it's kind of, you make it to this age, it's you realize, like, friends pass away and things happen. You're like, all right, we're lucky.
Yeah.
I was gonna do something, and then I meet this person.
You're like,
And I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna do something with this person, because all these, we have this. She likes Raisin Bran. I like Raisin Bran. Like, tricks.
she's the one. You like Raisin Bran?
Tricks with marshmallows. I love those. So
I didn't know they made those.
no, I mean, that was just a really bad example. But
Oh.
everything was lining
Should.
up, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, man, she's a great role model, and my son's been putting some kind of pressure on me the past year of
Aw.
like, he wants a stepmom. And I'm just like, without saying it, like, dude, we're home. Like, it's hard around here. Like,
You don't
I don't
wanna-
go out. I don't
You
do
don't
much.
want one of these fucking toothless bitches. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, West Virginia.
Yeah,
Do
we
not
ha-
come for me.
We have some people there, but it's just,
Everybody knows everybody. And
yeah, it's
if you're
hard.
not vibing with someone, you're not vibing. And
I
it is
don't,
in a smaller town. A lot of times people are locked down at our age.
and everyone knows everyone, and I don't go out as a single dad. I'm doing renovations like literally 5 days a week. Except
Yeah.
for the day my dad goes to church, we can't do nothing.
Yeah. It's the Lord's
And
Day.
So I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, fuck, I thought I was going to have one last summer, the summer of the goon, I was going to call it. Like, I'm going to go out I'm going to go out to LA, and I'm going to, meet some people and have fun. I was going to do a road trip across LA.
Fuck.
Or across LA to LA, and stop in a couple towns, see some friends, do this, that, and the other.
But
now
you're like,
I
love.
met this person, and then slowly, she booked her flight. We were supposed to go to get an Airbnb in this resort in West Virginia, this mountain, snow skiing town. And then she
Cute.
started to get like, oh, I'm starting to feel weird a couple days before. And then she's like, oh, I think it's this. And it's like, it's a long story short, it's kidney stones. And I'm thinking, and she's saying all these things that I've talked to her on the phone. Like she's
Had
been.
you like video chatted her?
That's the thing. So this is how dumb and embarrassing.
You should literally be on Catfish.
I have to put my sunglasses of shame on.
Maybe you're
to tell
like,
this
maybe
story.
a part of you knew, but you're like, I just want connection. I don't care if this is an old
You
man
have no
in
idea.
Kentucky.
I went through all the emotions of, oh, this ain't real. This ain't real. Oh no, she is. Not this. No, I don't know. Oh, no, I think she is real. She is real. Oh fuck, I don't know. Like literally, my dumb ass was going through all the emotions.
Well, because I imagine that you go like, there's a part of you that goes, oh, it's ridiculous to think someone's not real.
Right,
You know, of
because
course she's real.
when you hear
Who would do this?
when you like, we talked for hours on the phone, and like, she's definitely from Canada. She has that accent. She was definitely a smart person, because she's talking about she does. It was so random. She's like, oh, I do pediatric plastics, and she was talking in depth about surgeries and things, and like child services that come in that she has to deal with, because there's child, like when their child gets burned or something, there's CPS has to come, and all these crazy things. And so I'm thinking, there's no way this is fake. And then right at the beginning, she was like, let's do a FaceTime date. I'd love to do a FaceTime. And then it would be like, I was going to bed early because I was working. I was getting up early trying to go work out. And I just realized, all right, she's real. And we've already made these plans to see each other this next week. So whatever. It's fine. There's no way. And the details that she was telling, and like she showed me a card that a child's family wrote, like, Dr. D, thank you so much. Like, you gave, crazy shit.
Oh my God.
So we were supposed to go to Seattle after this trip, but she got kidney stones. And then on my birthday, I'm like sitting by myself, and I'm like, my son's in Charlotte. And I'm like, I'm either going to stay here by myself and wait for this so-called person she flew. I said, send me a confirmation of your flight. She screenshots the confirmation. I don't look it up because I'm thinking, all right, I'm back.
She's not gonna send.
I'm back on the she's real train.
Yeah. You're like, she's not gonna just make this up.
Right. And it's the airline that I've flown with. This is what it looks like. So she has the connection in Chicago. Once she gets to Chicago,
miss my
she's like, oh my
flight.
God, no.
Oh.
I threw up so much. Thank God the flight attendants were so nice. And it was very humbling when they asked me, is there a doctor on board? And I said, I'm a doctor. So she supposedly is like, I'm just going to go rest for a little bit. There's a couple other flights. They're going to book me free of charge, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right. I'm like, I don't know about this anymore. I'm like, don't hear back.
Oh,
And
no.
I'm like, all right, it's like fucking noon. I was like, I'm driving to Charlotte. It's like 3.5 hours. I'm going to at least go be with my kid on my birthday.
Yeah.
We go have dinner with my mom's down there.
Dude,
my
get out of your
brother's
head.
down there.
Yeah.
Like, it's all good. Then somehow, was it that day or the next day? She's in my hometown allegedly, because on her story she's posting like the state capital where I'm from, Charleston. Then she posts, which is 2 hours from there, sometime later, that there's like a video that kind of looks not real of someone panning that they're at Snowshoe Mountain Resort. Which
Oh my
is-
God! Like
and
she like maybe
like she
went
still
and
went on-
found all these.
she went to actually do what we were supposed to do.
but she hadn't said anything. She just like
No.
fell off at that point.
Yeah, I can't remember how it went. I just realized like this. I don't know. This doesn't seem real. But if she is, like, we were supposed to fly with the kid, drop him off to grandma, and go to Seattle for a very specific Taylor Swift concert that was very hard to get tickets.
Oh my
for.
God!
Like the details are.
Did you have the
insane.
tickets? I'm so mad.
She
Why-
did.
I was
No.
like, I would have gone with you to that.
She did. She's like, I got 3. Let me know. I have if anyone else wants to go. I bought 3 just in case. Like just random fucking.
That's so
details.
specific.
So
yeah.
everything was so specific, and even
That's
like
how they get you.
this is how she got me. It would be like, oh, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm just having some wine with a friend, and I would be like, oh, send me a video or a shot. Cheer. Like I didn't say these words, but
Yeah, but
basically,
yeah.
send me a
That
fucking
silly
picture.
flirty shit you do.
Real quick, I get a picture of her like drinking wine. Right? I'm like, this is real, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on. So then, like, once I realized, all right, whatever, this is a real person, but I don't know what.
But it's weird. It's like
It's weird.
she's
like,
flaking.
Something's not right. And then I went back and looked at the picture. The thing, it was like clearly like there was like a like that little line in bad photoshopping jobs.
Oh,
on
like a
face.
filter,
maybe
like
maybe it's
fake.
her body, but it's a whole new face. Like my theory is maybe she is a pediatrics doctor. Maybe she
Maybe
got,
she's real, but she's not. But like,
maybe she got into this game because she was burned as a kid, and maybe
Mm.
something's wrong with her face. I don't know. This is probably me trying to be hopeful. And
yeah,
being
they're like, but at
stupid.
least she's real.
Yeah. But now she was in Laguna, supposedly. She's like, oh, I got an Airbnb. And I was like, I went down to see a friend in Orange County. I'm like, all right.
All right,
we're
I'm gonna
we're
meet
gonna
this
be in
person.
a 10, 15 mile radius. We're
Yeah.
going to meet. She's like, yeah, I just feel a lot of cold energy. Like, I think we should do a vid chat first. So she's throwing out this video. And here's why she couldn't do the FaceTime. And this is where it became like, this
like
is
suspicious.
bullshit. I'm like, all right, you're a doctor, right? Okay, so the way your work phone's set up, the infrastructure won't let you FaceTime. I'm like, okay, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Okay, anyone also with if that's true for anyone with a work phone, which it's not if it's Apple. Everyone has a regular phone.
Right.
If they have like an on-call separate phone.
Yeah. And FaceTime should
Yeah,
work for a
FaceTime
doctor.
doesn't shut off.
Especially if you're having to see like a thing, and she was like, "Oh,
It's like if she was on an Android, maybe, but like
it was on." And this is what a crazy. I'm going all over the place. So I sent one time where I'm on the. I don't know. She's not real. I sent flowers to a hospital that was like in a neighboring town in Ontario. I was like, "This is how I'm gonna find out." So I send surprise flowers to this hotel that I was 100% sure she was staying at. She's like, oh, no, it's not that one. I'm like, well, she did say it wasn't the downtown. She's like, but it's real close to the hospital. I'll go over and get him. I talked to the hotel. I'm like, oh, she's going to come and get him.
you call back. Like, did anyone
Allegedly,
get those flowers?
I should have asked what kind they were, because it was one of those things like, pick 3 kinds.
Oh yeah, because you didn't. It's like you send. They just like make a bouquet.
Right.
That's
and then
fucked.
so then I get a picture of a hand with flowers, and then she sends me another thing of her holding flowers with a face that may or may not be hers. And I'm thinking, oh, it's
like a heavy
I'm back
filter,
on the, oh,
probably.
it's legit. And now I'm looking at these things in the sunlight, and then I'm like, take my glasses off.
It's not even the same flowers.
Wipe the hope out of my eyes. I'm like, is this an AI? Like, I think it's some kind of AI. Literally, I think you can type in AI. My friend showed me you can type in
Girl holding flowers.
blonde, hot, something, flowers. It'll pop up like that.
That's wild.
It's
That's
insane. So as
Fuck.
of the other day, I'm like, I'm here. She's like, yeah, I don't know. She's like, I just don't know if this is for me anymore. And I'm like, and I'm trying to hold off on being like, bitch, I think you're a catfish.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to
Like,
be.
what is it?
Like,
Are you heavier set than I think? You have a weird eye. Why are you hiding from me?
She's like, what would I gain from that? What is there to gain? I'm like, I'm not saying there's anything to gain. I'm just trying to figure out.
What the fuck's going on?
I've told a couple of my friends that they think I'm being played, and she's like, well, you think I'm fucking with you? I'm like, and I would just say, no, I just want to meet you, because I'm like, I'm already invested. I just want if there's a real human being here.
I just want to meet that person.
And now she's posting stuff like she went to the Taylor Swift thing, and now she's back in fucking.
So she did go to Taylor Swift. Well, on her
allegedly.
Story.
Yeah. And now she's in Laguna, and when I told her I was coming up, she's like, oh, I'm going to see Barbie, but I'll hit you up after. After my friend Lana goes back to Seattle or whatever. I'm like, okay. So I'm just hanging around the beach by myself. And then some hours go by. I'm like, hey, I'm still here. She's like, yeah, I don't know. I just feel some cold energy, like, because we kind of stopped talking every day once I figured out, like, all right, you fucking hijacked my birthday.
Yeah, that sucks, because you're like, you made plans. You can't get that back.
Right.
You could have planned for something else.
I was just going to come out here, go to the desert, eat a bunch of mushrooms, do something
my favorite thing to
fun.
do on my birthday. Why am I not doing that for my birthday?
You know what I mean? Like, I never do anything for my birthday. And this person, I don't know what the plan was. Like, what people are insane.
Yeah, it's
so,
like, were you just bored? Like, I'm a human.
I mean, I went through all the emotions of. I felt like I was in high school at one point, and then I was like, "You're a fucking idiot, dude!" Like, and my friend's like, he's like, the pickiest person I know about girls said he thought he might get married to a catfish, and I'm just like, "Yeah, how funny is that?"
That's so. You're like, I think she's the one. You're like, I don't think she's even. We don't know what. We don't know.
She's definitely a lady. I can tell. Well, we're great. Former man voice.
Yeah,
I'm a former man with a lady voice. I think it is.
Well, they have voice. I mean,
like I even
they have
brought
voice changers.
That's true. I brought it up in the beginning about like that Mateo, that football player that got catfish.
Oh yeah.
I was like, yeah, did you ever see that doc? She's like, yeah, it was crazy. I mean, I was like, look, don't play with me. Like, this is a weird month. Like, if you're not, she's like, I would never do that. So there's like, I still care about this human being because I don't want to be like.
Yeah, and it's also like maybe, I mean, there's a world where maybe she just got anxiety and has her own, like, it's all real, but she's like, and she panicked. I was like, I can't meet this guy from West Virginia. What am I doing every time it happens?
But when I Google her name and then doctor.
Does anything come up?
Nothing comes up.
Oh, bitch, you got catfished.
100%. But who is this human being?
Why'd you wait so long to Google?
You're right. You're
You're
right.
like, I don't want to be creep. I don't want to be Googling. I don't want someone to Google me.
Right.
So I don't Google them.
Right. And I thought, man, everything seemed legit. Like I'm not that dumb, but
I'm just kidding.
it is the dumbest fucking thing I've done.
Dude,
but it's,
you know what? Hope will make you do dumb shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And people, you try to give people the benefit of the doubt and think people are real. And like, you know, people always ask me like, oh, how is it in LA? Like I didn't deal with a lot of fake people. I've been so lucky to come across like real people. And besides the fact that I had I had a handful of West Virginia kids out here that I've known since I was a kid.
Damn.
So that was so helpful. And then I had like
that
a couple,
nice.
didn't have like a lot of actor friends. Actors get a lot of bad reps. Rightfully so.
Well, there are greasy, seedy people out here, but yeah, there's a stigma of from people who don't live out here that they think everyone is just full of shit. And you meet people who are, but 100%. You're gonna meet that in any industry probably.
But if you like, the thing I can say about actors is you can go work a job 2 weeks for someone, be on set for them, and not see them for 2-3 years. But there's this kind of bond and connection that you make on set if people are real. And I've been lucky enough to have a real working connection with a lot of people, and it's so nice.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It just makes the city a little smaller.
Yeah, it's the going out and the what do you do, and you're in those circle and you overhear things. You're like, this is why we get bad reps.
Oh yeah. So what do you do? Or people like waiting for you to say what you do to decide if they think you're worth talking to.
Right.
You definitely do. It's a thing in comedy where there are some people that are like, and there's more people than I know that I'm sure that are like this, but there are certain people in the comedy world, and I don't know if you experience this in acting, where like I can tell how the perception of my career is going based on how they're treating me. Where all of a sudden, hey, how are you? And it's like, oh, you're not walking past me and pretending I don't exist. You must at least think that something is going well for me.
Right.
And also, it's such a big thing out here for people to go, what do you do? What are you up to?
Mm-hmm.
That there are some people I have watched like panic form in their eyes when I'll just go, "There's how you been?" And I go, "I'm great." And then I don't go into what I'm up to,
Right.
the things I'm working on. And they're like,
Yeah. Or when you meet someone, they ask what you do, and then they're waiting for you to maybe ask the same question.
Yeah.
I always say, "Where are you from?"
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Yeah, I've been there." You ever go? Like, I try not to be
You know,
that.
who are you as a person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, who gives? I'm sure you do something creative, and if we get to know each other, we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
But I really don't care. It is exhausting sometimes, like going out, like, and it's nice now. Like we were talking earlier, and I'm like, "Oh, so what have I seen you in?" And I'm like, "Fuck." Now I'm just like, I'm lucky enough to have like a decent resume where I'm like, well, I don't know, what do I even tell? Like, where do I start?
It's that weird, like, it feels weird to not have anything to say, but then you're like, it feels weird to also be like, maybe this.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, a bunch of TV shows I pop in and out of, and I usually be like, because everyone's watched Yellowstone apparently, and I'm like, barely, I'm in like 3-4 episodes, and the fourth episode,
Yeah,
I just get
that's a big one.
blown up. But you know, people are like, oh yeah, I've seen Yellowstone, and people seem to be so impressed that I'm in Yellowstone. I'm like, I fucking didn't get paid shit. And
Fuck, really?
I mean, it was just like, when I booked it, it was like recurring guest star, and I was like, fuck yeah, this would be a cool gig just to go to Utah and work out there. And that was the one time in my life I was on 3 TV shows at once, and I really thought I was doing something.
You're like, it's happening.
Yeah, it's coming. I'm like
It's
recurring on like that. I was recurring on this show called Bosch on Amazon.
Yeah.
And then a Marvel show called
You're on a Marvel show?
yeah, it was like The Runaways.
Oh.
Or just Runaways, about these kids that ran away, and I got
The Runaways. It's about these kids that run
funny
away.
enough, I got attacked by a dinosaur in the show.
That's hilarious.
And my son sees it. He's like, "Is that real?" I'm like, "No, Josie, that's dinosaurs are. They were never real. Don't you? Have they taught you anything in school?"
Yeah.
No, I was like, it was an animatronic puppet. So I was doing all these things, and still here I am, still not a series regular yet, but
I mean, it all comes in waves.
yeah, 100%. But now I just don't. I feel douchey. I'll try not to feel too douchey when I'm like people. Because people are really supportive, especially in West Virginia. Like, everyone loves.
They're excited for you.
Yeah. But then it's like when you're out and you have a drink, and it's like, oh, you're on all my favorite shows, and I'm like, well, why are you not working more? I'm
You're like, oh, is it still happening in West Virginia?
yeah. I'm like, it's slow.
Yeah. It's, there's a strike. It's the off season.
Yeah. It's spring.
I'm taking a break, and it's my choice.
Spring training. But yeah, overall people are nice, and it's but it's still like very humbling to deal with the things we have to deal with. Like, people, oh, so what are you up to next? I'm like, God, I don't know.
See.
Did an episode of Magnum PI, but it just got canceled. Oh, I never seen that before. Yeah, don't.
Yeah, no one had, and that's why. It
Don't.
Yeah.
Cool vacation though.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, it's got to be fucking weird to be. I mean, I haven't done much like series acting at all, but like the blessing of being like, I booked this thing, and I hope nobody ever sees it.
Every now and then I'll do stuff. I'm like, this is pretty good, but a lot of network stuff.
It's corny or just like.
And when I say network, put the beep, like I just said fuck
Yeah.
on.
Beep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so no one knows what I'm talking. A lot of the network stuff is not the greatest.
You're like, well, it's a living. Yeah. It's like, it's just another day at the office.
But those series regs are making a killing on it. But like when you're popping in for the guest stars for season 8, episode 13.
Yeah.
It's like, writing's a tough game too.
Yeah.
Shout out to the writers.
Yeah. Fucking stay strong. Supporting you from my air conditioned home.
Standing with your brothers and them and.
Yeah. I mean, it's all fucked. Well, that's the thing, is like it's all so up, but that's part of the game, is that like, unless you're one of the 1% of the 1% of either of those fields, it's like sometimes you're on and sometimes you're fucking like, hope that next thing comes in soon. And then, if you're lucky, it all, comes in right in the nick of time.
I went through a funny, quick, stupid story. I don't even know. Before the pandemic, I was going through a really dry spell, and I had one of those cars at the time that I could do like the black Uber, the fancy ride. So I was like, fuck it, let me try this out. See if I can make a couple extra bucks.
Yeah, I did it when it first came out.
Daddy hasn't booked in a
Yeah.
while. So I
Daddy
go out,
needs money.
and it was the most humbling.
Did someone recognize you?
Yeah, but
Oh.
not only did they recognize me, but they were like, called me. They would they say like, you're Ryan Dorfman, aren't you? I said, no.
Oh, nope.
They're like, yeah, you are. You're Ryan Dorfman. I was like, no, it's definitely not me. He's like, yeah, you are. I'm gonna look it up. You're married to that girl. I was like, no,
Please,
don't don't Google it. I said that was me, but that's not my name. She's like, oh, okay, no, I'm sorry. He's like, yeah, here you are. And I'm like, fucking driving as fast as I can on the west side to get him to like Dave and Buster's.
You're like, get out of my
Like,
car.
can I have the ox? And it was like a 10-minute ride from wherever I picked him up to Dave and Buster's, and they're playing, hit me, baby. One
Oh my
more
God.
time. I'm like, fucking kill me. This is a $16 ride. This is my hell.
Why did I do this?
Yeah, it was so
Yeah.
humbling, and like you ever have that time where your body gets like really hot,
Oh,
like maybe when you almost crash into the back of someone. You're like, fuck, why am I doing this on my
he's
phone?
like, God, kill me. Get me
So-
out of here.
So close. That's exactly how I felt. And I was like, oh, God, I don't want to do any more driving today. It's a
Yeah.
Sunday. Like, everyone's out partying, having fun.
I know. Brunch. And you're like,
Oh, God. So, yeah,
hey, I know you.
that was fun. But other than that, people were really supportive back home. People love their West Virginians. We support each other.
Yeah.
pretty
That's
well.
how Anchorage is. Is that
Yeah.
like, if you do anything, you're from Alaska. They're like, fuck, she's Alaskan.
Yeah.
Dude, she's got her
Who-
name on the wall. That's great. Like, it's
Who's the most famous Alaskan, you think?
me. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Probably Scotty Gomez. He's a hockey player, played for the New
Okay.
Jersey Devils.
For, like, entertainment industry.
Entertainment industry.
Any actors from out there? We have to Google that.
There's a couple writers, and man, if this name isn't fucking,
Is Yogi Bear from there?
he should be, but he's from Yellowstone. Actually,
Yes, he
you
is.
should
I
know
should-
that.
I should know.
You son of a bitch. I'm trying to look up. I think it's Dan Mintz is a writer. Yeah, there's a pretty successful writer.
Seems like
He
a
wrote on
great-
like Bob's Burgers.
a great place to write out there. Not much else. To
Oh
do,
yeah, you
right?
just fucking really lock yourself down. There's not a Jewel. That's who it
Really?
is. Jewel is the
I
most
love
famous. Can't believe
Jewel.
it took me that long to think of that.
I love Jewel.
Yeah.
I'm looking up a bunch of actors. They're listing here. I don't know.
There's never heard of any of them, and they're probably all. I'm sure they've done stuff.
Just be like
It's like Jewel, Sarah Palin,
oh wow, Sarah's a great actor.
and then like. I don't think it's tooting my horn to say I might be
You
the most
might-
famous stand-up
yeah,
comedian.
You're not. Bristol Palin.
But there's just not, there's not a lot of people leave either. There's like hometown heroes, but they never
Kurt Schilling is from
really.
the baseball player.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I'd say
I had
James
no
Morrison.
idea. Damn.
Is that the? I know that name.
Well, who's from West Virginia? You
Jerry
and
West?
Jerry West, the logo?
Yeah.
I met him once
He's from
at a
my
golf tournament.
He's from my hometown.
He's a
right?
large man.
We went to the same. Basically, my dad went to the same high school he did, and then the high school Jerry West went to was my junior high. And then from
'cause they
the
have
other
changed
side
it.
of the river, I don't know if you know who Randy Moss is.
I know Randy Moss.
Okay,
is.
so he's from his basketball and football coach was my basketball and football coach after Jerry West's side of the river and Randy's side of the river consolidated and made Riverside High School. Shout out Riverside.
That's that side of the river and that side of the
Yeah,
river. Now we're Riverside.
And Jason, yeah, so clever. And Jason Williams was the white chocolate guy, the basketball player who was Randy's teammate.
Damn.
So it was him, Randy, Jerry West, Don Knotts,
Don Knotts.
Jennifer Garner's from my hometown.
Tyler Childers is from somewhere out there. Do you know him?
Yeah. I think I want to say he's Kentucky, but he might be West Virginia.
Oh, maybe he is. I just always
But
he
we're
always
right on the
says
border.
West Virginia in his songs.
yeah,
So I just was
yeah,
like,
he's badass. I want to see him.
I want to party with him.
But Jennifer's from
Jennifer
the same
Garner.
high school that my mom and brother went to.
Damn.
Charleston's the area. I've never met her. I was on hold for a movie once. And I was like, "This is it." This movie called Peppermint.
We're
I
going
was
to
like,
be best friends because of West Virginia.
"This connection. I need this." And then they worked out the conflict that the guy who had already been signed on to play my role, he was some big rock star musician. I can't remember who he was.
Oh, damn.
But I didn't get the job. But then once the movie came out, his part got cut out. So it was like,
So you would have been cut out anyway.
Well, we could have
probably,
been friends.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
All right. Damn. Well,
We covered it.
I think we covered a lot. I feel like there's more, but I'm not going to hold you hostage. So wait, so your catfishing is done. You're trying. Let's make a
Well-
pitch. You trying to find a stepmom? She's out there.
I'm looking. I think I'm trying to actively, get lucky.
Yeah.
The catfish. Funny enough, I tried to text her to see if I could get like some more insight onto this coming into
Like,
it.
not
Like
letting
I was
go.
like, hey, how about that video chat?
I mean, that shit fucks you up. Getting ghosted or catfish, that is like a level of psychological.
I'd rather get ghosted from a real person.
Yeah, than have someone string you along.
Yeah,
Dude, that
it was
sucks.
it was borderline evil because we did connect, and I really feel for this person as a human being. Because I'll be fucking fine. Like I was over it after.
But if they're doing
however
that kind
long.
of shit, they're fucked up.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
what do you think's wrong with her heart? And then I remember her this is what kills me, like looking back. I remember being like, look, don't fuck with me. I got, this XYZ, the kid, the life.
Been through enough.
Yeah. She's like, oh my God, who hurt you? And I was like, who would say that? I was like, well, no one hurt me. I'm just
God.
saying. Yeah.
Life is hard.
Yeah, I'm just saying, just don't fuck with me because
Yeah.
I don't have time for this.
Yeah, I just don't want anyone to hurt me.
I don't want to be, I wouldn't do this. It's like, I would never. And I'm just like, all right. So
Fine.
something I want to know as a human being because I'm an empathetic, compassionate.
Yeah, well, I'm always just want to know
person.
like the psychology behind like what makes someone do.
It's a sad but borderline evil thing. After I've said and talked about what we've talked about, like you say, oh, I'm gonna get. When you start bringing my kid in this shit, I'm like, oh, I got these books. Oh, you should get them. Oh, no, don't buy them. I got them. I'm gonna bring them with.
Yeah, you're like, now you got a child's hopes up maybe. And
Yeah, I didn't tell him anything.
Well, of course, but it's like-
yeah,
that's just, it's fucked.
it's wild.
That's wild.
Human beings are fucking insane.
Yeah, we're all deranged.
I mean, have you seen? They cleaned it up around here. Looks like there's not too many homeless.
I
around
mean,
here.
it's been this neighborhood. I don't know who's paying who to keep the homeless,
It used to be
on
bad
the
on the corner
outskirts.
up here.
but they seem to have at least shoved them out of this
They're
area.
all downtown.
Although
now.
there was a guy apparently like literally shooting up on the staircase in front of my building
Oh.
yesterday.
Well,
But that's never happened. And I'm just like, uh-oh. It's happening again. It's fucking...
yeah.
And everyone's like, what do we do? I'm like, I don't know. Just lock your door.
The homeless in West Virginia are great.
Really?
There's not too many, and when people are like, "Oh man, the homeless has gotten so bad," and when
You
I
mean
moved
you
back,
mean the two guys?
I'm like, "You talking about the same 6 people I
Yeah.
see on the corner with the sign?
You mean Bill?
You those peaceful ass cardboard holders?"
You don't know what it's like. I've been chased.
Yeah, like L.A. is out of control.
Rough. And I'm like, I'm always like, they need to do something. But I'm like, I don't know what the fuck they could do.
I mean, I'm a big, and this is my pitch as a politician. I am a big proponent of let's bring purge to real life, and if they can't figure out how to get their shit off the street and survive somewhere else, like
Is every man
let's,
from...
let's just be honest. They're not like I have a friend. I don't want to be I don't want to be not compassionate or
I'm an empathetic person.
Yeah,
But we
but-
should kill them.
I have a good friend, man, and this is a sad story. He was the sweetest, like a best friend. He was a successful, like, book jobs as a model. He graduated from a drug to a next drug, and now he's like homeless, and his mind is gone.
It's gone.
And he's been in and out of prison, and like I'm talking a guy that was so nice, like he had turtles and ducks and all this shit in his backyard, and like was a vegan vegetarian because he didn't want to fuck with the animals. To brushed his dog's teeth and was just a nice fella. To
Just
going
like a heroin junkie.
like meth.
Oh, yeah, meth will fuck
And
him.
meth will change your chemistry,
Permanently.
Yeah, and he's gone.
Yeah.
Like he went to prison, did a bid here recently, supposedly got out. First day out, he had to go find that speed, that meth.
Yeah.
And
It's like you
like,
never...
there's no fixing them. Like, so my pitch is
Drug Island.
Drug Island. We take them either that, or we put them in the desert. And the way we fund this is we pay-per-view it. And
We let them fight.
We let them run their community. And this is what we'll have. On this side, we'll have counselors for people that will want to
get better.
And we'll have them on that side of the fence. And then on this side.
And then we can just watch and observe from a social...
And we're paying for the counseling and the whatever.
And then everything's just like... And then you guys just live here and you figure it out.
And for $9.99 a month, go to my YouTube.
Yes, I'm more of a producer than an actor. I don't know if you've seen Homeless People in the Desert.
Yeah.
That's me.
I don't know if you've seen hobo at youtube.com, but
Bums in the Sun, that's me.
Bums in the Sun. Yes. Yes. Cut this out. Someone will steal this.
Yes, fucking you're not coming for our project. I'll cut it out. Fuck. Well,
Thanks for having me.
thanks for doing it. Where do
Yeah.
people? So at some point, keep an eye out for Ryan's podcast.
Yeah, I think I finally put a link on my Instagram, but it's at Dorsey Ryan because someone already had Ryan Dorsey apparently.
Does that
But
say
everyone calls
catfish?
me Dorsey.
Do
so
they?
It made sense
You're
for
just
me.
Dorsey.
Like, even one thing I hate doing is slating my name when they're like, are you still tell us your name? And I'm just like,
I feel so stupid.
Hey, I'm Ryan Dorsey. I'm 5'10". Lie. I'm 5
Wait, how
foot-
tall are you?
I say 5'10" just because
'Cause
in,
it sounds
Hollywood
cooler.
you could put on a pair of shoes.
And nobody knows.
I mean, ask Tom Cruise. He's fucking got some boots.
5'2".
Yeah.
He's got like Spice Girl platforms.
He's got like 5-inch shoes, but I say 5'10" just in case they want me to look long. But sometimes I'll say 5'9". Keep it.
You're like,
real.
what's the role?
Yeah, I'm like-
Depends.
When I used to walk in the rooms, they'd be like, "And how tall are you?" I'm like, "Well, how tall do I need to be?"
That's so funny.
Or I'll be like, "Oh, 5'10" in these boots."
I should lie more.
The corniest shit I must have said in my life.
We all do it.
And then I realized, all right, less is more. Just go in. Don't be too fucking. Don't be that needy person.
Yeah, you
Just
don't need
go
to
in,
impress them
Be
with
pleasant.
the side chat.
You
Just
know,
be
there was a
nice.
thing someone told me that resonated, and I was like, yeah, leave them wanting more.
Yeah,
I'm like,
not less.
"Oh, yeah.
Go in, glitter bomb.
Yeah, don't go in telling them everything about your life. You want them to be like, oh, that was pretty good work.
We're gonna see him again.
I'd like to see more, know more about this guy.
That's smart.
But now everything's on the fucking internet, and who knows if anybody's watching.
Yeah, now they know everything about you, and nobody knows
Yeah.
what anyone is watching.
It's but yeah, at Dorsey Ryan, and then I think on the YouTubes, which I don't think anyone follows me yet, but it's at Dorsey Ryan again, I believe.
Great.
But the name of the podcast is going to be.
You got to tell them.
It's going to be called "Do What Are We Doing?" and
Dude, what are we doing?
it's
That's great.
it's a play on. I'm sure that you've heard it in Mississippi, where people say, you say something to me, and maybe I heard you, or maybe I didn't. I'm like, "Do what?"
Yeah, that's.
It's like a way to say, "Huh?"
Do what? Yeah.
And so the whole thing is there's going to be a lot of do what going on. There's going to be a lot of words that I make up. Like, man, look at this fucking do watery. Like it's an
That's great.
adjective.
Do
Like two dipshits just over there, a couple of do whats.
Do whatting around.
And do what? And then it's what are we doing? Like, why are we not doing the bums in the sun?
Yeah, we should be out filming bums in the sun.
I mean,
We're out here making podcasts. There's homeless people to
we
put in the
have-
desert.
We have $1 billion enterprise.
This is Joshua Tree, and that is Joshua's tree. He's a meth head. He's the mayor of.
Come back next week and see who Joshua really is.
Come back to Bumtown. We'll see you next time.
Sand is burning. Come back and see what
The
it turns
sand
into.
is on fire.
Yes. Again, next week. Come back. $9.99.
It blows up. It's like we don't need streaming anymore. People are trying to get on the Bums in the Sun network.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a really serious sitcom. Serious sitcom on thebumsinthesun.com.
Watch. Someone will see this. Bums in the Sun will be a show.
Will be, I mean,
And they will steal your idea.
I'm cutting all of this out.
Cut all this out.
All right, follow at Dorsey Ryan. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. Say bye, Moki.
The
Bye.
sweetest.